Now it's Stephen Curry with the steal. Steps back for three. Back.
What's up, everybody?
What's up with it? What's up with it? What's up, everybody?
Oh, yo. First of all, real quick, what up? I missed that intro before. This is the first time I seen that shit.
We lit on here now, buddy.
Okay,
yes, sir.
okay.
Make a couple
Yes,
tweets
sir.
to
Right,
it, you know.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we had to get Marcus's fucking new picture out there.
That's what I was gonna get. I was like, okay, Marcus, I see you, my guy.
Also,
Yeah.
how we love the New Jersey.
Oh, big
Wow.
troll.
Shout out to the old show where Dan and right Jordan had a little. You get a statue. You get a statue. You get a statue. Come on, Draymond deserves a fucking statue outside Chase Center.
Yes, he does.
Okay,
we'll
so-
talk about that.
We have a fucking great show for you tonight, and I better see hella people up in that chat.
Okay.
First of all, you better click like, you better click subscribe if you haven't already. We have a phenomenal, like, if you don't know him, dude, I don't know where the fuck you've been. King Josiah, he was known as the NBA Twitter King, NBA meme, but now he's just the king of all memes. Videos, gifs, whatnot, and he does not just NBA, not just sports. He does political shit. He does right, like across the board. I've seen it in like every facet, you guys. Right?
Pretty
Yep.
much.
What's up to everybody in the chat? Oh, Danielle, we got my boy Jay Spence. What up? Oh, okay. Before we get into everything, let me bring
What's
him
up with
on.
it, Tanya? What's up with it?
So, everybody, welcome.
What
King
up?
Josiah.
Josiah, what's up with it, boss?
Oh, you got crowd effects. I love that I asked before I came on if I could curse, but Gina dropped like 3 fucks in the intro. So I'm ready to go ahead and get it. Like, I'm excited now.
We truly appreciate you, boss.
I'm Sicilian, Mexican, and Native American, so that's how I roll. So
Oh, yeah, you get down. I already know.
That's what's up.
the house was lit from I was in the womb, pretty much.
We truly appreciate you, man. Definitely appreciate your time, man.
Oh no,
Thank you.
thank y'all for having me. I'm excited. I always try to support people like yourselves doing this shit. You know, I came up the same way, so super thankful to be able to be a part of this, and thank y'all for having me on.
Appreciate that.
Yes, the goat. What's up to everybody in the chat? And shout out to Danielle, our Patreon member, and she has some questions in here too. So we're gonna get to all that. What's up to everybody though? I really appreciate you guys being here, Peachy, and Marcus Los Great, our moderator, Derek, and yep, we already shout out Tanya. So Damian Lee, what up? Barbershop Sports Talk, thank you for being here. All right, so let's get this shit started.
What's up with it, everybody?
What's up, everybody? What's up, Danielle?
Damian. So anyway, yeah, I
I
can't.
already know
You
y'all
already
have
see
fun.
it. You see it
I already
now.
know y'all have a
Yeah.
good time on this shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Oh,
get
yeah.
it.
All right, so Jordan, I want you to like help with the questions and shit we got on the banners because I'm already like
Hold on. Can we talk about Gina all flustered right now? Like,
Right.
Super, bro.
Gina,
We was
you know
just
what
good a
you
second
do,
ago.
Wow. The lights come on now. All of a sudden, she's short shot. You showed
I'm
her
like
short
hurting
shot.
myself with my little ledge back here and shit. No,
No,
I'm
you
just
got
like
this.
hella excited. I haven't eaten all day. Like
You like Eminem on 8 Mile.
Hilarious.
Be rabbit.
okay,
Right.
you know, arms are sweaty, palms are sweaty.
I was about to say, be careful because after this show, Josiah might have like how Gina was on the show. Like, be careful.
Exactly.
damn.
You will be a meme.
All right, I'm gonna be respectful.
Gina has just exited stage left.
There you go.
Congratulations,
No,
you played
let's
yourself.
get into
I
it.
played myself.
First and foremost, like again, everyone knows you as the meme king, right? like for NBA, and we talked about not just NBA, but like any type of content. Do you feel like a certain pressure about that, like to deliver the perfect stuff every single time that you post or anything like that?
Well, I mean, as y'all know, the internet is a super wild place. Twitter is no different. So, I mean, yeah, I feel pressure, but at this point, I've done it long enough where I know what people are gonna like, what's gonna get me packed up. Now, there are occasions when I habitual line step, maybe put some stuff out there that I shouldn't. Like everybody, I'm human. I'm kind of like, I'm a big Jurassic Park fan, so I'm like the raptor just testing that fence always, trying to find a weak spot so I can chew through it and keep it going. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think as I've gotten older now, and a little bit more washed in life, and I've got kids and stuff now, I try to be a lot more respectful. Like back in the day, I used to go out with a lot of Warriors fans. Some of them are still bitter about it, but for me, it's all good. Steph got his Finals MVP. Y'all won the chip, so I had to bow down. I had to get packed up by the likes of Pilo and everybody else over there on the Warriors side. So for me, it's just a matter of respect. And at the end of the day, we're all just talking about basketball. So whatever your favorite player, team is, whatever. I done seen shit on Twitter, people ready to fight each other. And I know people on both sides. And I'm like, dog, if y'all just knew each other and hung out, like y'all mad because you a Warriors fan and you a Laker fan or you a Steph fan and you a LeBron fan, y'all would be friends. Like, I mean, that's what you're gonna base your. Yeah. I'm gonna fight you because you don't like Steph and I like LeBron, whatever it may be. This shit for me, especially as you get older, is like, all right, man, like I'm not ever gonna be in a position where I'm in jail and it's like, damn, what you in here for? Oh man, they were disrespecting LeBron on Twitter, so I had to go fight him. It don't make no sense, you know what I mean? Right. At the end of the day, man, I'm just so happy for the community being able to do shows like this and just all the support around it. And I think at the end of the day, we all love basketball. We all want to see it played at the highest level. We all want to see our favorite players healthy and doing what they love. So, when our teams play each other, of course, the Lakers are playing the Warriors tomorrow, I think Thursday. Of course, I want the Lakers to bust that ass. But no matter what happens, man, I just want everybody to stay healthy, have a good time, and just enjoy loving watching the game and just the way the community all kind of bonds with each other to get these jokes off.
Hell yeah.
No, with that, and real quick for anybody else goes, I want to say, because I know, again, Lakers Warriors play tomorrow. Shout out to Andrew Wiggins. I don't know what's going on with him or his family for personal reasons. So,
what's going down? He's not playing tomorrow. What's up?
Nobody knows. He's not with the team yet. So, So yeah, like I just want to give a shout out to him. Hope everything's okay with him and his family and everything. So definitely
real talk.
Pray for Wiggins too, man. Like he got clowned a lot. I think in his first few years with the Timberwolves, people were calling him a bust and shit. Right. And what he was able to do in the playoffs last year, postseason, it's almost like a lot of the guys in the league. Once you get on a good franchise, good leadership, good ownership, and you put yourself in position to be playing winning basketball, the sky's the limit. So definitely shout out to Wiggins.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yep. You finally got that.
Shout out to Wiggins. I mean, do I have to be nice?
Here we go.
Do I have to be nice? Because I got to be nice because he's going through some shit, or can we talk basketball?
Oh my God.
I'll chill out.
You're a Knicks fan, bro.
I'll chill out. I'll chill out.
No, it's good. It's good. You're a Knicks fan, though. Just
if it's tasteful and funny, then my thing is like I don't give a fuck what anybody say about anybody, me, whatever. If it's funny, I'm gonna laugh at it.
All I'm saying is I'm not being mean, but like Josiah said, everybody was calling him a bust and shit. Well, technically, by bust standards, I mean, for the Timberwolves, he was a bust. So I mean,
put up 20 a game.
Yeah, like was he really a bust though? Like,
no, hold on. All I was gonna say was they thought he was gonna be the guy, and what we've learned with him being with the Warriors, which is a good franchise, a good organization, and he doesn't have the pressure to being that guy. He can be a great player. That's all I was gonna say.
How many times did the Warriors? I mean, not the Warriors. The Timberwolves thought they had the guy. That might say something more about the organization than
well, I mean, they have the guy with KG.
They had a guy, and what did they do with him? Nothing. He got traded.
They wasted years of his playing career.
Kevin Love, he got traded. Well, traded.
All I'm saying is you're right. All of those things are correct.
Cat's still there.
I'm saying he's hurt right now. Shout out Cat. But
I'm just saying.
Hey, but let's not knock KG like he didn't have some squads back then. He had Wally Zerbiak, he had Steph, he had Spreewell. They had a little squad back then.
But they traded him for a reason because it wasn't working out.
I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff fell
Wally
through.
Zerbiak.
Even if he like could have, should have been the don't get me started on Wally Zerbiak.
Yeah, I was like, fuck Wally Zerbiak. Look, I said it. Yeah.
Hey, Wally Zerbiak was getting a little love on Jamie Foxx show back then.
I remember
too.
that.
He was.
What Jamie said, he had that Scorbiak jersey.
Right.
Yeah. Scorbiak.
That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is I'm glad that Andrew Wiggins was able to find a good team that could help him be the best player that he can be. And I think we're saying the same thing. Josiah is saying the same thing. He did excellent last year in the playoffs. He did excellent. And he deserved the contract that he got this year because of the way he performed last year. So I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, that he's a bad player or that he's a bust necessarily. I was just going with the whole idea of, well, it didn't work with Minnesota because they like, oh, well, he's a bust. Well, I mean, okay, but he's just not the guy. I mean, are we saying that Markelle Fultz is a bust?
We gotta give him like 2.5 more years, maybe even 3. But you know, I think
how many years you want to give him?
At one point, it was a definite. But then he had the janky shoulder with
Thank you.
This with the ball and all that. But you understand, it come a point where it's like, damn, dog, it's bigger than basketball. I ain't never seen a human being shoot a free throw like that in my life.
It's the mentals.
He thought that was like a shooting motion. So
like, come on now.
He was having his little Nick Anderson moment.
Markelle was in the bankhead bounce at the free throw line. Like, come on now, let's be fair with him.
That's what it was exactly.
So he hasn't reached bust level yet.
Nah,
I've seen it like when he's healthy. He's a hooper. He's still a hooper.
You gotta give him a second.
Yeah, he been getting buckets down when he plays.
I mean, bro, I'm in Orlando. Okay, I go to the Magic games. I see Markelle ball.
I'm sorry.
And all I'm saying is, I'm watching it firsthand. Like, my man is in bust behavior.
Yeah, it's you know, I never like to knock a guy's game, but we could definitely have this conversation about 12 to 24 months. Get him in.
Give him some more time, Josiah.
Let's see what these Magic do. I think they're gonna turn around. They got a nice little young squad out there. I'm a big Bobo fan. I'm a fan of Paolo, obviously, too, and everything they do.
Like Bobo.
Yeah, Bobo. I want a Bobo to get traded to the Lakers.
I'm giving up soda.
You got Mo Bamba, Josiah. You got Mo.
Well, we got Mo Bamba.
You got the other.
How do you feel about the acquisition?
Like, we got your guy. I'm like, you confusing big man, bro. That's right.
He's in LA now.
Yeah, but
right. That's what I was about to say. How you feel about the trade?
I think across the board, man. I think, you know, especially Lakers fans, they was ready to pack Rob and Jeannie up.
Yeah.
You know, I think Jeannie Buss posted the tweet the other night, the DM she be getting from people, and, you know, she telling her she's the worst owner, this, that, whatever. But I think those trade deadline moves, I like to say we celebrated for about a good 35 minutes. Then next thing you know, getting ready to go to sleep and the KD trade goes down.
Right.
And it's like, all right, man, like,
yeah.
KD always trying to fuck with Brown shit. KD
can't we can't never sleep.
In the Western Conference, like, you know what I mean? But I think at the end of the day, it's a good squad, man. I think Jay Vando's doing a great job. I love D'Angelo now, kind of in this new role, coming back to LA.
He's not a snitch.
Really, he don't, you know. And that's the thing. Like, you can be a snitch in your younger life. You can improve. Stay away from the phone. Stay off the live.
Yeah, exactly. You know, all that's going to, you know, we're going to put that aside now. Hopefully.
But I'm excited. I was excited about the win they got against the Pelicans. I get it. Zion wasn't there, but that was the best I've seen that team play in a long time. Not tricking off a 20-point lead. AD looking engaged, getting buckets early on. LeBron doing what he do. But I think D'Angelo's going to be a solid pickup for him. And I'm a UCLA guy, so I love Russ and I love Westbrook. But I think very early on, it kind of was apparent to everybody that thing was just not going to work out or go in the direction that people wanted. So even seeing Russ now, after, you know, Lakers fans called him Westbrook and kind of a lot of the disrespectful shit that went on. But to see him now with the Clippers with a chance to maybe do something special, albeit it is the Clippers. But at the end of the day, you know, I mean, I'm just happy for Russ too. So I feel like everybody won as a result of those trades.
The basement squad.
I feel like that too. I feel like everybody won. Everybody got the situation they wanted. Buyouts happened. Everybody was able to go where they needed to be. Like it. I'm happy for Kevin Love too. I'm happy for Kevin Love leaving that situation and going with Miami. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what he can do down there. And I mean, like it's gonna be some good basketball these next 23 games.
Except in New York, it's not. I'm sorry, man.
Stop, please.
It's not.
You know
how it's going to end in New York.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Listen, I'm from the basement. Okay, I'm from the basement, so anytime I get to come upstairs, I'm happy, bro. You dig what I'm saying? Like anytime I get to come upstairs, like I'm happy. So let me have this fifth seed real quick. You dig what I'm saying? Let me have that 5 spot. You dig what I'm saying in the East? You dig? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Josh Hart, newly, Nick member, you know what I'm saying, coming in, helping his Villanova teammate out. You dig what I'm saying? Like, shout out to them Knickerbockers, baby.
That's why I let Dan cook when he was talking about bus, because he knows what the bus looks like. So
I know what I know
yeah,
what bus
I let Dan
like.
cook on that one. So.
I know what bus look like.
Exactly.
I've seen bus.
Hey, you already know.
Barbershop. Let's
I
go.
can't speak
Nick.
on my hometown team. We just fired our head coach, so I can't say
Thanks,
anything
Marcus.
about it.
At the same time, Marcus, watch yourself. At the same time, slow down, Tiger.
We still on the Lakers though. With the last 23 games left in the season, what you think the Lakers gonna do?
Hopefully something, hopefully not get packed up. I mean, I think the real thing is, man, LeBron and AD got to stay healthy. Even Bron in the All-Star game hurting his hand. Hopefully it's not that serious. I know Darvin Ham gave him the day off today, but seems like he said he's going to roll out the same lineup that he had against the Pelicans. It seems like that means that lineup's going to include LeBron. But really it's going to be on AD. I think, what LeBron has done this year is incredible, but I'm always just nervous watching him now. 38 years old. Said the same thing last year. He only really needs to play 55, 60 games in the regular season. This needs to be AD's time to shine. And then once the postseason comes, LeBron can really go back to, zero dark 30 mode. But he's had to play way too much this season, which is especially concerning with the foot stuff that he had to miss a bunch of games for after he broke the record. And Darvin Ham knowing that and still having to play him. And I understand it, but also it's like, shit, this man is 38 years old. And LeBron has pretty much defied age at this point. And, he's been smacking father time. But it's going to come a point, similar to Tom Brady where, it ain't going to last forever. And I think he sees that. So ultimately, we got to understand just the importance of each of these games. So these 23, I think their first 10, y'all got the schedule up there. It's tough. I'm looking here in my head, just like, ain't no really gimme wins in those.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like, you got to play the Warriors twice. You got to go out to
Yep.
Memphis. Like, it's a lot of games that,
Big
and we see
games.
from this Lakers squad this year, they've had about like 7-8 games that they've just tricked off. Some of them, themselves shooting themselves in the foot. Some ref aided, like that Celtics game. But you look back and, even every time those happen, I'm like, yo, this is going to come back to bite them in the ass down the road. And, hopefully you can make up a game or two, and get back on the right side. But I think they're, 27-32 right now, 13th in the West. It's going to be interesting. But it's crazy because this Western Conference is like, I ain't really seen a West like this just from like team 3 to team 13.
In a minute,
A couple bad weeks, you can go from 3rd, 4th seed to literally out of the playoffs, which at this point in the season is wild. Yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see, which is also sad too, because, I mean, every one of these teams can give you that work if you don't bring it on any given night. But I'm optimistic. 23, I'm hoping they can go at least like 17-6, stay out of that 7-10 range, and really lock up a 6 seed. You not have to deal with the play-in, but knowing how shit goes and just the way the basketball guys move, I think they'll definitely be in that play-in range, and we'll see where they go from there.
I do agree with
deadlines though. That sorry, Rod. I go ahead.
No, I was just saying I do agree with you. Especially like the last game that they had. Against the Pelicans, as long as you can keep Bron with those type of minutes, we'll be straight for the rest of the year. Yeah. That's
like came out early in the fourth.
Right. Exactly.
It's like,
I'm just never
had that feeling. I'm watching the whole time like, man, they about to trick this shit, and they got to put him back in cold with like 3 minutes to go, try and salvage the game. But they kept trending in the right direction. So
for real. Go on, Jordan.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, I guess 2 questions, and I want you to answer the first one off rip. With the acquisitions the Lakers made, who do you think is going to have the biggest impact down the rest of the season?
Well, I mean, you got to say D'Angelo Russell just now filling that role. And again, I hate to keep harping on that Pelicans game, but it was the first time we really got to see all those guys play together.
Yep.
But it's been such a long time where, they kick out to a dude for an open 3, and you actually think the shit might go in. You know what I mean? I know as Warriors fans, y'all, it's been a tough year this year, but Clay or Steph get it, Jordan Poole get it. With an open 3, more times than not, that shit's going in. Where as Lakers fans this year, it's just like before they even shoot brick, and I don't even care who it is.
Still throwing up bricks.
Get back, OG. And that's the thing about basketball, I'm coaching in the high school ranks now, assistant coaching over there. But tell those kids, those threes are turnovers. Like if it's a bad shot, that's like a turnover, and you put yourself out of position now in transition. You know what I mean? Like so you got to treat it the same way, which is a sad thing. When you expect these guys to be knocked down, but I think D'Angelo's really got to bring it, and he's going to be a guy that he seems like he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. He's comfortable playing in the LA market. And that's the other thing too, y'all know, in the Bay as well. The lights aren't quite as bright, I would say, out there in San Francisco now. Used to be Oakland, but coming and playing for the Lakers, playing in Hollywood is like playing for the Knicks, playing in Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? They're going to be on you. Lakers fans, you know, we've seen they bully Bron, they bully Westbrook.
Yes.
I've seen them bully KCP. I've seen them bully Kuzma. And it's really how you respond to those moments, because at the same time they bully Bron, you fuck around, win a championship.
Absolutely.
Now they love you and revere you. But,
hey,
you know, a couple months later, though,
we did it to Magic.
Like they don't care who it is.
They don't care. They don't care.
So at the end of the day, but if you perform for them, they're going to love you.
No, 100%. And then, like I said, the second question, I'm so happy you brought up the Warriors. You segued into what I want to ask perfectly.
I already know where I'm at.
Gosh,
I already know what I'm doing.
You talk about the Warriors, right? And so here's the thing, like obviously with everything that's happened with the Warriors this year, you know, even going back to the preseason, we know what we're talking about. What do you think of like what they've done so far this year? And what do you think their max like potential, what they can actually accomplish, you know, going forward for the rest of the year?
For me, I'll never, you know, I mean, I've definitely tried to clown the Warriors in years past, and it's come back and bite me in the ass. But I think once Clay came back, you know, we had a couple good years where we got to pack y'all up, and we knew y'all wasn't fucking making the playoffs for all those years of torment and really just hurt and pain and the KD years and all that other good stuff. But this is a squad to me, really, as long as they make the playoffs. They're like the 9th seed right now. They're sitting at 500. Definitely wouldn't have expected that coming into the season. But it's a team. I think about the Nuggets, and if I'm the Nuggets and I got to face an 8th seed Warrior squad, they're going to smack that ass. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, these dudes know how to win championships. They know how to play in the playoffs. It kind of reminds me of the Lakers after they won the championship that year, albeit, you know, AD got hurt. But, you know, I think they were in the playing range, ended up winning those 2 games to make it, or winning that game to get the 7th seed to play the Suns. And we're literally about to beat them until AD got hurt. So it's one of those situations where it's almost like if you're the Nuggets or you one of those, you know, the Grizzlies, one of those top teams, you get punished for doing what you're supposed to do. Because now I got to face Steph and Clay and Dre and Jordan Poole in a 7-game series. And if I'm Joker, I'll be salty. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like I'm not getting that just easy pushover, you know, that series I can sweep. So I think that squad, so that squad is one where I'll never – and it's funny, I've had ample opportunity this year, but coming off a championship, it just don't feel right. So, you know, definitely let y'all do what y'all do over there and just knowing that it's coming at some point. So I think y'all in a predicament like us too. Of course, you don't want to not make the playoffs and what's going to come with that, but feel like you guys are due for to go on a run, and definitely a squad that, you know, I hope y'all lose Thursday, but beyond that, the playoffs are exciting. The playoffs are more exciting when the Lakers are in there, when the Warriors are in there. You know what I'm saying? You're getting to see Steph. And for me, like, you know, I wasn't the biggest Steph guy, but I always had a tremendous amount of respect for his game. But as guys get older, you know what I'm saying? I was a big LeBron guy. I used to battle Kobe fans all the time. But towards the twilight of Kobe's career, you really just start to appreciate what he means to the city, what he means to the game, and seeing what he's, you know, I went to a couple of games, you know, towards the latter stages of his career. And it was like just seeing what this dude went through to even be able to play a basketball game and knowing how much he loved basketball. And you got the double ice packs and then, you know, on the knees and the shoulders. And just what he had to do to get out there to play. So I'm starting to feel that way, obviously about Bron, but even about Steph now. I think he's 34 or however old he is. He's getting, it's like, you know, he's got 5, 6, 7 more years, but you know it's coming to that point where a lot of these guys that we've loved watching the past 5, 10 years are now on that point where they're going to be out of the league in the next 5 years, which is wild to think about.
Crazy.
That's fast. I mean, like let's think about this way. I mean, even just the NorCal, SoCal aspect of it, right? Like, you know, everyone in the Bay loves to have the beat LA chant. You know, we've seen it, Giants and Dodgers. We've seen it, Niners and Rams. It's time to see it, Lakers, Warriors in the playoffs. Like, I know we saw it for the play-in game, but I'm saying like for a whole series. It's time to see it.
The city's turned up, and like I said earlier in the show, like we will beef with each other, and everybody will talk shit. They'll get their jokes in. But I know every time I pull up to the Bay, everybody always shows a tremendous amount of love hanging out there, love and being out there. So we're going to talk our shit, and I expect it, and I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't I'd look at y'all differently if y'all didn't try to pack me up. You know,
that's only because when you roll up on the scene, they see you 6'10", and they be like, "Hey, we cool, bro."
That has something to do with it too.
It's all love.
But even before that, man, like one of my best friends, we played at UCLA together. He's out from San Francisco. So every time I go out there, I've been going out there, you know, past 15, 20 years since I graduated college. Always pull up. It's always love. We hitting 5, 10 spots in the night. Everybody, and it's funny, like for people who don't know the Bay and don't understand how plugs work, and just you know, everybody got the plug everywhere, and it's so reciprocated.
Yep.
You know, but you see who out of towners are because they're paying regular price to get in the spot.
Exactly.
You know, they're overpaying for this, overpaying for that. Where, you know, I remember going to a Niners playoff game and literally was like, "Yo, just show my old ticket. My uncle over here works security. Like, pull up, we're gonna flip you in."
Oh my
Going
god!
to outside lands, you know, outside lands.
Yeah.
Yep.
Homie security.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my
He know
god!
about it. He know
I
about
got
it.
in. I got into Candlestick for a whole season, and it was the shitty season. Jeff Garcia, I mean, he was one of our decent quarterbacks, but it was the 2002 to 2003, 2004 season when I met my ex-husband. We were just dating, and I said, "You want to go to a Niner game?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's listening to this right now too, and I was like, "I'll get you in for free." And so the security guy where I worked at San Francisco City Hall, he's like, "Here's some old tickets. All you got to do, I'll let you in. It's just go like this. It'll get you through the turnstiles." And I was like, "Okay." And then I had like 20 people. I was like 30 people deep. My brother's friends, those fucking guys, man. And we're just like walking in, we're all shoving and shit and like tailgating, like just hella ghetto, right? And like all these people, and they're like, "Who are they?" I'm like, "Just give them like $10, $20. Oh my god, it was like every Sunday and Monday Night Football too. Worst record season ever.
Hey. I went to that playoff game. I kid you not. There was more people outside just walking around without tickets, you know, outside
right,
find an open spot than was actually sitting in the game. But just the love and the atmosphere out there. But you know, that's how it go out there.
That's what's up.
He brought me back.
That is straight dope. I love how that all goes together like that. We all got to know the
bag. Like, hey, yeah, these roll up like, you know, people waiting in line, and then I know homie right here is my boy. But also, you might see him the next day, and I got the plug for you over here, whatever it may be. You know, I'm gonna take care of you.
Yep. 92 Super Bowl. I had the plug at the Rose Bowl. Got into the Bills and Cowboys Super Bowl.
Yeah,
my uncle worked at the gate. Oh, man, I'm good, man.
Hey, Pasadena is another city too, where that rose, everything revolves around the Rose Bowl. And
everything,
you got a
yes,
Rose
sir.
Bowl plug,
you know about that. You get egg going down Colorado Street and everything. You gotta, you know, I'll take you back about that. You know, them some good old days back then. Good old stuff.
I know all about the Rose Bowl.
This guy.
Former D lineman at Stanford.
But yeah, you ain't lying though. We all got plugs out here. You know, I got this new plug for the Warriors. He gonna start getting me in real good.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got the backstage pass at Chase Center.
You know my guy
from Jordan. Yeah. Yes, I went. I said, "Hey, me and my son are going to the Warriors."
Right.
I'll go back and edit this in post. I will edit this in post.
That's when you throw up the Magic Johnson gif right there.
Yeah, like not me exactly.
That's the one thing about the plug though, because you give them up and down, you got to make some tough decisions because now everybody flooding your joint.
Right.
Exactly.
I ain't got it no more. I ain't got it.
Ooh, Tanya's got plugs for Giants games. Hey, Tanya, hook your sister up. Come on.
It might be a little easier this season because.
Trash.
I never lied about that.
We not feeling
trash. I can admit when my team is trash.
We'll see what happens.
It's not hard to admit. It's not hard. We see it.
This guy.
We see
it. Hey Wayne, there is East Coast representation. My co-host here, Dan, is a Knicks fan.
Come on now. You know where I'm from. And Jordan is from the ATL. Thank you.
Well, I mean, not for real. He ain't. You know, he's a
wow. Dang.
He's an ultimate warrior.
You just pulled your ATL card there. Jeez.
Shots fired.
The hate.
I know we have Josiah.
We said the Knicks is real.
Once Josiah's done, Dan, I'm gonna respond to that.
He gonna come back to that.
I'm gonna go. Hey, I might have to just sit back and watch at the crib. I gotta do some parental duties, but I might just sit and watch the show. See how this
might have to, just because he said that. No, like
yeah. Jordan's gonna come back to this.
Warriors is the label that pays me.
This guy.
Yeah, because he's getting the chicks from Joe Lacob. And plays basketball with him on Fridays, right? Is that right?
Next question. What's the
Yeah, I
next
was like,
When it goes into you like doing your GIFs and everything, like, is this just literally freestyle? Like, how do you do it?
So yeah, people always ask me, like, "Oh man, I know you had that one saved." And there's a very rare occasion where I'll have something just chilling, waiting for things to happen. But for me, like, I'll give you an example. I was out in Utah for All-Star Weekend, came back Sunday, so I'm watching the draft, and I'm trying to think. I was over at Gil's crib because we were getting ready. We just launched our new show, Gil's Arena. So we were at Gil's crib, just getting ready to go through everything. We were watching the draft, and I'm looking, I'm like, damn, they just leaving the white dudes on stage. Like, they not Joker about to be a 3-time MVP. So Joker and Laurie Markkinen are the last two standing there. And I'm like, damn, this reminds me of Get Out when the parents are just staring at them with the point, and they just staring, waiting to get picked. So a lot of times I can't really go in with a plan because I never know. I would have never predicted that they would be. I thought Laurie would probably be the last guy taken, but I thought Joker would have went earlier. So I can never predict those things. So I just kind of watch. Or if I'm watching the Super Bowl and Rihanna's performing and she does one of Kanye's tracks and Kanye's not there, I'm naturally, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, she'll do a Kanye track at some point.
Right.
And I'll have stuff ready. But I try to just be on the fly with it. I feel like that's the funniest stuff. And, everybody who has a sports background, I know you're in the locker room sometimes. You're just going to walk in and some shit's going to be going on that you didn't plan or expect, or somebody's going to come up with a fucked up haircut, or some pants that are a little too baggy or whatever, some shoes that are janky.
Yeah.
And it's really just you responding to things going on in those moments. So that's what a lot of the stuff I do is. So I don't really try to have a plan in place. Yeah. Sometimes I'll see a video or meme or something like that. I'm like, oh, this would be great in this situation. And then that situation will happen and I'll fire it off. But it takes so much for those type of things to go down that I kind of just try to live in the moment. And when I see something, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of this or this reminds me of that. And it's funny too because I'm on the older side, so it's stuff from my generation, like the Boys in the Hood era and all the stuff that we grew up watching. So if you see a lot of the stuff I do,
we're around the same age.
Yeah, but I'm saying a lot of Men's Society, Boys in the Hood, things like that. We grew up watching.
We're around the same age.
But you get the younger kids over here, and they're like, "Man, I don't know what the fuck that is." It's like, it's not for you. I didn't watch SpongeBob, Chief, so you're not gonna see a SpongeBob meme come out. But I word for it. This was funny.
Yeah,
I take your word for it, but I ain't see it. So,
I ain't see it. Right.
Yeah. I'm not gonna see it. Like, why y'all watch that SpongeBob shit, dog? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo.
We came up on Darkwing Duck. We don't know about that other little shit. You know what I'm saying?
I was just talking to somebody about this shit today.
SpongeBob, bro.
How you got home from school and it was like, I'm gonna watch the Gilligan's Island and I Love Movies and I'm gonna head over to K-Cal.
Yeah, K-Cal 9, baby. He know about that.
Yeah, but the Darkwing and all that shit, Chippendale Rescue Rangers and all that.
Right, that's us.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I want the young kids to know about it. That's not for you.
Never know about it. They'll
never know about it. You can check it out and culture yourself and really learn. Learn why we are the way we are. But
facts.
Yeah, having to explain.
Came up on the Voltron, the Thundercats.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, having to explain things. I had someone saying, you kids of this generation on Twitter today, like hours ago. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm Generation X. I'm 48 years old, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck?
Man, I'm blessed to be old. Like, you know what I mean?
You kids today?
Like, motherfucker, I know it's waiting for y'all kids, and it's nothing but hopelessness and despair. So, like, shit, like we got to live live. We got to play outside. Like, we got to, you know what I mean? We have to do like fun shit.
Hey, Josiah, a lot of bus in that generation, huh?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
And they don't know it yet. They still think they max players. That's the fucked up part. Like,
facts.
Facts.
They don't know about getting on the metro or nothing like that. For real. What?
They think they max players. Hilarious.
But now, like, Josiah, let me ask you this. Like, even when you think like a game's going away, it's going, because we see beat writers talk about this all the time, right? They have a certain article typed out the way they want it to go. And it's like, boom, the game's going a certain way. Oh, wait, now we got to change it. Yeah. Have you ever had that moment? And like, what's that like where it's like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to post. Oh, now the game all of a sudden changed. I got to change it to this. So
for me, I always have something for both sides. Like I have the one I want to happen. Like, all right, if the game keeps going this way, this is the one I'll get off. But then I'll be like, all right, in the rare fucking possibility that it goes the other way, let me have something just kind of in the back burner. But, especially watching the Lakers the past couple of years, they might roll into the fourth quarter 20-point lead and that shit evaporates. So I've learned, like, all right, that's why I keep going back to that Pelicans game the other night. I'm like, damn, LeBron's coming out. Like, y'all sure? Like y'all know,
Right.
y'all know
It just didn't seem right. Yeah, it just
y'all
didn't
know how this
seem
song
right.
really goes. Y'all will trick this lead off in a heartbeat. I'll take
Right.
a quick nap, wake up with like 2 minutes left. Like, wait, what the fuck just happened? They down
Right.
3 now? What? But
Right.
yeah, so I mean, I try to be ready for
Danielle
whatever's
said
gonna
the
go
Lakers
on.
are gonna lose.
But the most important thing, man, I
Yeah.
think is just enjoying and watching the game. So, but you can start to see flow and the way things start trending, and it's like, all right, that
Yeah.
18's down to 12, that 12 down to 6. Oh shit! Like,
Yeah.
here we go again.
To actually be up by a dub like the last game, it was like, dang,
It was
this
so
feels a
refreshing.
little weird. You know what I'm
People
saying? But
been
it felt
clowning me like,
good.
man, you talk about the Pelicans. I'm like, I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. I don't give a fuck
Right.
if it's the Magic, whoever,
Facts.
Rockets, Spurs. Like a win is a win in the NBA. Everybody likes to act like you can't get your ass beat by anybody on any night.
Any
Like,
night.
it's the NBA.
Because
Like,
the Orlando Magic been whooping people ass, and
You know what I mean?
I'm not even
Hey,
gonna flip.
the Warriors been fucking giving up like 20, 30 point, like leads and shit. And it's like, dude, we should have fucking won like at least a dozen games. Like, losing them by like this much, like in the fourth quarter. Like, what the fuck?
I'll be watching y'all games on Twitter sometime. I'll be cracking up because I'll be
Same way I feel.
Like, what they just smacking? I seen all the Warriors fans boasting and bragging in the third, then in the
Yep.
fourth is all the negative tweets. It's like,
Yeah.
Nah, then we just start attacking each other. That's
Yeah.
what it
Yes,
was. Like,
yes. But it's all them younger
Yeah.
fans too, and they're like, "Fuck this team, fucking fuck this player, and fuck
Nope.
that player." And I'm like, I am turning off Twitter. Like, I
Like,
can't
didn't y'all
fucking
just
take
have
it.
a parade? Like shit. Like, but that's how everybody moves on this
You are-
side. Like, they want instantaneous gratification.
Exactly. I'm
Like,
like, I've been with
go on
this
Twitter.
team during the dark years, man.
Talk about. Did Marcus say he got an Eddie Curry jersey on?
Bro, I'm not,
Oh
hey,
shit!
hey, it's
Yeah,
about to be flame
don't take that,
on
Dan.
for Marcus, boy.
Don't
It's,
take
it's,
that,
a,
Dan.
it's about to be flame home
Said
for
an Eddie
Marcus,
Curry
boy.
jersey.
Hey, Marcus.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
Marcus, keep disrespecting this doggone great. Keep disrespecting
Oh man.
this doggone great, Marcus, and I'm gonna let you have it. Josiah, we're gonna let Josiah get off first because we're gonna go to our regular shenanigans. Marcus, I'm gonna flame your ass, boy. I'm gonna flame. Hey, pause. Let me say pause on that shit too. Bruh, wait till Josiah get off this motherfucker, bro. Wait till he get off this motherfucker.
We'll go back to regular scheduled
I'm-
programming then. No doubt. No doubt.
Y'all have too much fun, but I appreciate what's today, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm having too much fun for a
A
hump day.
Wednesday.
Okay, exactly.
Good old
what we
hump
do,
day like
man.
this.
What we do.
Yeah.
I'll be
Wednesday,
forgetting what
baby.
days it is now. I know I'm old. Like I'm like shit. Every day the same day for me.
Yeah, man.
Marcus, you know it's all love, my guy.
I'm rocking with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all having me on here.
No, thanks
Thank
for
you so
hopping on.
much. And I
It's just cool
honestly,
you down
it
to
was
earth like this, man.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you.
when you first followed me back, I was like, oh my God, this is like the most famous person that's ever followed me, So I appreciate the
It's
love.
just nice to get love from Warriors fans. You had the dark years as a Warriors fan. I had the dark years as a Warriors hater, where it was like, damn, y'all mean spirited. Y'all saying some really mean shit right now. We just talking basketball. Like,
You know what?
Facts.
I'm more of a LeBron hater than I am of a Lakers hater.
okay. But see, I'm a big LeBron guy, so that's caused a lot of internal beefs and people
Problems.
ready
Yeah.
to go at each other. And my thing is always this: like I'm 6'7", 300 pounds, so we're gonna do whatever. And I may get my ass whooped. That very well may happen, but it's gonna be a fight. Like it's not,
It ain't
we're
gonna
gonna have
be
fun. Like we're gonna really have
It
fun.
is
while
what
we're
it is.
doing
Hey,
I might take the
Josiah.
L.
Hey, Josiah, my man Gucci said in the interview one day, Gucci, man, shout out ATL. Gucci said, if me and Waka get in a fight, he said, I don't know who gonna win, but we gonna tear down the goddamn building. You
Yeah,
feel me?
that's
You
all
know
that
what I'm saying?
matters. But just to say, it's like shit. Like you might not like LeBron. I'm not gonna start talking about your family or this, that, or whatever. Because I just think I'm like, damn, like y'all are fragile out here. Like the sensitivity level, like we just talking basketball. But I understand it.
Jordan
It's
is the
passion
GOAT,
too.
period.
It's the passion too that comes
Thank
with
you,
it.
Gina.
Jordan
I like
is
how
the
you.
GOAT.
I like how you
Set up me.
incorporated
Thank you so much.
that love for LeBron
DJ
in your
Ryan,
TV show.
don't fold.
Yeah.
Like I love that part. Like when you had the whole, I forgot the episode when you was doing the in LeBron's name I pray, the amen with
Yeah.
the powder toss.
That was the first
Weak.
joint.
Yeah, weak.
That was the first joint. And I think
Telling
it's
you,
funny,
bro.
man. So when we created that show, originally the pitch was supposed to be for LeBron. It was supposed to be like a Fat Albert and Cosby Kids.
Mhm.
So we talked to the guys we were working on with, and it's like, look, I love LeBron. I'm rolling with LeBron. But the show we want to do and how fucking raunchy we want to be, LeBron is not going to be fucking with that.
Oh yeah,
so we can't make it nothing LeBron-esque. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's wholesome, family driven, you know, house parties and all that.
Man. I'm tired of this narrative, dog. Bron be fucking bitches, man. Like, I'm tired of this, dog. Like, I'm tired of this, man. Y'all be trying to put this man on a pedestal like he's perfect, dog.
Oh, there's your next GIF right there.
That's it.
He just gave you one free right there. Free friend.
Not necessarily.
No, bro.
You know that GIF where it's like peace, and then the guy disappears, the kid disappears. That's Josiah right now.
Yeah.
Hey, that's that image. I get it. You know, mainstream shit. You got to talk real pleasant about Bron. You got to paint this image as he's this family guy and shit. I know he be fucking bitches.
You know that personally, Dan?
Bro, listen to
you
me.
Saw.
So,
with your own two eyes. With your own two eyes, you saw.
So wait, Dan, I want to know. Did he smack that ass or did he grab it?
I don't know, Jordan. I wasn't in the room, bro.
Oh, nope.
I want receipts, Dan.
Pause.
I want receipts.
Oh my God.
I don't know, bro. Let me say this. I've never seen him.
I know, right?
If you ain't seen him then, how do you know?
I know.
How do you know?
Everybody meet Mr. Me Too.
Oh my God.
Listen, man. All right. We're gonna keep the positive image.
We're not gonna do this with company, Dan. Like,
unless you're
right.
We're not gonna do this with company.
Take his blue cup. Take his blue cup. Take his fucking blue cup.
Bro.
Blue cups.
And go sit by the Steinway. Go sit by the Steinway.
I would love to know if when Bron shit, that shit, it smelled like potpourri, bro. Like, I want to know, bro. I want to know.
Looking at the tacos and the shit he eat, I'm gonna imagine that he's thinking up the whole building. 45 minutes.
Oh
all that organic,
God.
all that healthy stuff.
Oh
like, give me some processed meats.
Give it to me.
That's a big house. That's a big house.
He probably got his one bathroom he go to. It's like, all right, don't come over here.
He said he got a throne on it and everything.
Oh yeah.
Shit room, Josiah.
But these are things I wonder too, like, because we all got to do it. You know, when you be at work and you go in the bathroom and you see the shoes, you like, and then you got to have a meeting after that. Like, nigga, I know you just blew up the toilet. Like, how am I supposed to look you in the eyes knowing what you just did?
Right.
Hey, real quick before we get up out of here soon. I got to get this Colin question off. Is that cool?
Yes, please.
Seeing as the
yeah,
majority of us are 49er fans, how did you get involved with that Colin project on Netflix?
So Legend of Chamberlain Heights, one of the creators on that, Michael Starberry, incredibly talented writer, creative producer. So Starberry did a show with Ava DuVernay called When They See Us. Right? And that ended up getting nominated for an Emmy. Didn't win. I think it lost to Chernobyl. You know, whatever. The hood's not rolling. We still want to recount.
Right.
But so I remember this was crazy. It was a couple of years ago. It's probably like 2019-ish. I was back in Milwaukee when my dad was getting his basketball jersey retired. Me and Michael Starberry stayed close. So I'm out in Milwaukee. He's out there. He works out of Minnesota, so he flew in to come hang out. And he's like, "Look, man, I'm doing this thing with Ava and Colin, man. And if it ends up going, I'm gonna bring you on." So I'm like, "All right." I mean, I was like, "I appreciate you, but I just know Hollywood works." You know what I'm saying? Like, and that, no discredit to him or knock to him. But fast forward like 7 months later, I'll never forget this story. I'm working another job. I just started this other job doing a TV show out here, producing a show. So I'm driving home from work. I'm tired. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I had a long day. He hits me like, "Yo, the show's a go. Like, we start on Monday." And I'm like,
Dang.
"Oh shit!" Like, damn.
Wow.
So I was like, "Yo, man, let me hit my wife real quick and make sure it's cool if I quit this other job." He's like, "What?" Like, he's like, "No."
Yeah.
So I hung up real quick. I called my wife. She's like, "You better call his ass back right now and apologize." And like, sorry, dog, I'm coming to do it. But to be able to work with Colin, this is crazy. I grew up a Raiders fan. I rock with the Raiders. But Colin, I remember when Legends of Chamberlain Heights came out, they had an Emmys party, and this was like 2016, right when Colin started doing his protest. So I pulled up to that function in a black Niners jersey out of respect for Colin and everything he was doing. So to be able to meet him and work with him several years later, and just the incredible dude that he is. And it's crazy to me because, you know, if you know Colin, you know he don't really like the limelight. He don't do a lot of that type of shit. He moved on the ground really doing stuff and doesn't really want cameras around and things like that. So to see the way that the whole narrative was switched up and changed up to him being like, you know, money hungry or fame hungry or whatever was super fun. And then for us to even do the show, and this is the thing, I've done a ton of research on Colin leading up to it. and just understanding how much being a quarterback meant to him. He only had one scholarship offer coming out of school. You know, they wanted to move him to safety or to this spot. Nobody was trying to rock with him. Getting scholarship opportunities pulled. He ends up going to Nevada and getting the opportunity to do it, becomes one of the most prolific dual threat quarterbacks in history. So to understand everything he took just to make himself a quarterback will really help you understand what he gave up and sacrificing for something that he really believed in. And I think, think about Colin. He was adopted, so he grew up with 2 white parents living in Turlock, California. For those of you who aren't as familiar with California, everybody thinks the Bay, they think LA. That's a certain type of way. But once you get to that Central Cali,
in the middle, right. It's in the middle.
They look at you differently, like, what I mean? Like,
that's the country.
You might not want to be some places at night. So just to know, even him kind of being this biracial athlete in high school, but how he was looked at in his town, it was like, all right, we'll rock with you because you're really good at sports, but we don't really rock with you like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So just to see what his life has meant and how, those planted the seeds for what he was able to do later on in life, like to be able to just talk to him. And it's crazy when we started working on it, the very first week he was supposed to come in, I think he came in on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, supposed to be with us for 3 or 4 days. That was the day he found out about the workout in Atlanta.
Oh,
he was literally like, look, I can stay here today for y'all because I said I would do it, but I got to take my ass out to Atlanta and get ready to do it. And just seeing how happy he was to be able to have an opportunity. But we're all in the room like, yo, do you think this is legit? Do you think it's some bullshit? Like, I used to work for the NFL, so I know how they get down. And he was like, look, man, I don't care. I'm just trying to get out there and go do it. Like,
did they follow the script?
And then of course they did some janky shit. So he was like, all right, nah, I'm just gonna do my own.
I had the script. I got it.
Y'all laughing? It's a script, bro.
They trying to make him. Trying to make him follow that script. He's like, nah, I'm gonna write my own one player. Like, I'm not.
It's a script, bro.
Hey,
in your own opinion,
with that moment with T.O., Max, and Stephen A. on First Take when they were talking about that.
Facts.
That was legendary.
That was real, Jordan.
That was legendary.
That was real.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, like T.O. straight up said, like Stephen A. Max is acting blacker than you. Like that.
That was crazy.
He didn't know about the waiver in the contract that they made Colin try to sign. That's why he's like, nah, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Colin got a exquisite legal team, and they not playing none of that bullshit. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they have his back, man. I really got a ton of respect for those guys. They was like, look, dog, don't. You mean, look, like this is what they're trying to get you to do. This is why they're trying to get you to do it. Because I think the workout was on a Saturday, and it's like, motherfucking college football games is on Saturday. Like what scouts is going to be there? Right. Jordan, the way it was, the way it was breaking down, it was like, this shit feels funky. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who's going to be there to see it when they scouting college football games that weekend? Like, it'll make no sense. But the game is the game.
Yeah,
exactly.
Marcus, you're getting out of pocket.
Do you think?
Hey,
how many QBs?
Gina.
How many QBs do you think Colin will start over?
It's hard, man. It's hard because it was a stretch too. Now, obviously, he's a little bit up there in age, but there was a stretch over the last 6-7 years where it was like, I mean, I'm looking at Josh Johnson have to come in for the Niners. I got a ton of respect for Josh. He's done admirable work as a backup in the NFL. But I'm like, yeah, you can't tell me that Colin couldn't have got a look in this situation.
I'm here. Yeah, you know I'm with you.
He couldn't have done no worse than that. Like y'all couldn't throw the ball. Like I'm
sitting here McCaffrey in there for like fucking Josh Johnson.
This is a playoff game. You know what I mean? This is where the big money is made, and we got to watch y'all not be able to throw a ball for 3.5 quarters. Like come on, what are we doing?
Right. And then the way you trolled us after that game, once we lost that one too. It was legendary. All I could do, I just sit back and just love it. I just sit there and laugh.
I know.
Like,
if you won,
it's always on time.
If you would have won, I would have had something for the other side. That's how these things go.
I bet you.
No, the ones that I enjoyed were the day of because I didn't realize you were a Raiders fan, and then I think back to the game when we almost lost to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
The gifts that you sent out.
We beat the Raiders. I want to know what gifts you have for that, Josiah. Because the Rams
sometimes
I know what gifts you have for that. Because we came back and won that game with
he's a Rams fan.
Well, this is the thing. The Rams is all we got. This is all we got in LA right now. So this is LA. You know we're gonna bandwagon on whoever's popping out here, except for the Chargers. Except for the Chargers. I got some friends on the Chargers. Unfortunately, they know like it's Raiders or bust. But yeah,
they'll always be from San Diego.
Yeah, with the Rams have going out, they brought life back to the city. They got. I like the crew. I love Jalen Ramsey. I like the squad they got around there. So But man, at the end of the day, if you even watch Legends of Chamberlain Heights, I think one of our earlier episodes, we got a scene where the white character at the thrift shop, he finds a Raiders jacket, he puts it on, sprays some Jerry Curl juice in his joint. So I used to always use that GIF whenever the Raiders won, and it did me a ton of promo for the show. So
I hella missed that show.
Me
show,
too.
man. That was my shit, man.
I never had more fun in my life professionally than just being in the room with that whole crew, coming up with ideas, the most outlandish shit we could think of. Like I said, similar to y'all, like if we were sitting in a writer's room right now, somebody said some outlandish shit, we all laugh, like, all right, fucking throw it in the script.
Right.
Then Comedy Central let us do it. Then,
Were you doing the Twitter also? Were you managing the Twitter?
Yeah, that's how I learned how to do all the social media.
Okay. Makes sense now. It makes sense now.
I'm doing the show. I'm like, look, no disrespect to the Comedy Central team, but it's like, y'all don't love the show like I do. Like, y'all don't understand the verbiage like I do. There's a certain way we speak on the West Coast that when y'all tweet and people, if they can identify that it don't sound authentic, they're going to pack us up. So I ended up taking it over, had a great time doing it. And once the show got canceled, just started focusing on my own shit. And that's the thing I would tell all of y'all. That's why I love doing shows like this. Like, do your own shit. You know what I mean? Like 5-10 years ago, any of us tried to walk into a spot and get a show, they laugh in our face and say, you got to be this, or you got to be that, or you got to do this.
Yeah.
Or now it's like you make your own shit, you make it hot, they come to you. So for me, I try to just stay as humble and appreciative as possible, man, because I'm just so thankful. Like I said, I'm sitting here on the Warrior show. I was a little nervous, like, damn, somebody gonna have some smoke for me. Somebody gonna have some shit to say. But I think at the end of the day, just the way this community, and you just see all the cool people that thrive in it, that work in it, that have kind of done cool shit, myself included. So I'm just always appreciative. And for me, I don't know how long this shit's gonna last. I feel like, I'm LeBron or Steph now. Like the career's kind of on this. It's twilight. I've kind of passed my peak a little bit. So I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. So while I'm here, I'm just gonna have a good time and really enjoy it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, but your social media career just got started like a year ago.
I mean, probably like 3 or 4 years, but I'm also like, I'm up there a little bit, and I'm looking at it's a young kid's game. They got a lot more free time and availability, and they're mean as fuck. And I can't. I'm slower. Like if somebody comes at me, I'm slow to like respond. I'll think about that shit an hour later, been like, damn it, I should have said this or that or whatever. Like
it
when you're
still
in traffic.
hits.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you.
Well,
it does. It still hits.
No, absolutely. And like, if I can ask you this question, because again, obviously it's Black History Month. Like we have a Black king of content creation, right, on social media with us. You are like,
I appreciate it.
Take it because you are.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are a lot of people out there, a lot of companies out there. They try to copy what you do. They can't do it. Yeah. Are there certain moments and times like you see what they try to do, you just laugh at it and it's just like you tried it, like or congratulate, like what Rod always likes to put, congratulations, you played yourself. There's some moments you see that and it's just like
I'll tell y'all, this is what I do. So I know a lot of people in this game. My thing is always look, if you look like me, you try to get one off. I don't take it personal. I appreciate the love that you're showing. If you don't look like me, you try to get one off. Like I had a situation during the Super Bowl. There's stuff that I use very routinely that people know. Somebody tried to use it and didn't use it effectively. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this shit. I'm going to use it 3 quarters later and fucking quadruple your numbers just to prove a point to you. But for something completely different than what you thought it was for.
Right.
Just to show you how you're supposed to use this particular thing. So I think a lot of people see it and they think it's something easy you can replicate. And I don't mind at all, man. I've seen a lot more people doing what I do. And I'm not the first person to do it. I won't be the last person. So I'm never tripping off that. But I have certain rules in place because I've been caught up on this on the other side. Like I might post something similar to somebody else. So I got like a 5-minute rule for people that follow me or I follow them. Like, because I'm not, if I don't see your shit, Twitter's a fucking vast place, right? I'm not gonna see every single tweet. I'm not sitting in people's mentions waiting for somebody to see what the meme they're gonna post is. That type of shit people hit me with sometimes. Like, oh, such posted this over here. I'm like, dude, you think I'm sitting this motherfucker's mentions waiting to see if you gonna post it? I've just been sitting here waiting to see. This is the place I'm gonna be to really get it. It's like, come on, dude. But a 5-minute rule. So like, if it's in 5 minutes, I don't take that shit personal. But if it's a major corporate account, I know for a fact that it's 20, 30 minutes later, and they try to come with the same shit. First, you're late, and like you don't know how this shit works. And second, like, come on, you could do better than that. Like, but I'm also, I mean, look, like I said, I'm humble and I'm thankful, so I don't take none of this shit personal. So a lot of times I see it and I kind of just sit on it and remember it, or I'll take a screen grab so I can have it just in case they ever act up and want to say some shit. So I have
got some receipts for you. Yeah.
But I don't ever go out seeking trouble because I know it's happened to me before where I'll post something, somebody like, oh, you stole my shit. It's like, bro, A, we don't follow each other. B, you got like 15 followers. Like, how would I find your particular tweet to know to do? You know what I mean? It's like, So, but I've been on the other side. I'm like, damn, they grabbing my shit. Then I think about it like, nah, it was just a coincidence. A lot of like-minded people. Like I said, we all grew up in the same generation, watching a lot of the same stuff. So we might see something and be like, oh, this reminds me of whatever, and put that up. And we're all gonna have that same feeling and emotion. So at the end of the day, I try to just worry about myself, stay in my lane, and keep my grind going. But I also use a lot of this shit as motivation because a lot of people inspire me to be better and make sure that every day I come with something, it's got to be hot. You know what I mean? I can't put no bullshit up because I will get packed up. And that's one thing about Twitter. You know very quickly if people are rolling with it or if they're not. You never want to be on that Summer Jam screen every day. Like I can look at a tweet now and be like, oh, they got packed up for this. And it'd be something simple like, yo, Martin wasn't funny. He's like, you can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We can't argue this.
Like, you know,
can't
like
do this.
Right.
They're going to kill you right now for this shit. Like, you know what I mean? I want to, but I'm going to be respectful. So,
let me take this L. Let me hold this L with love.
Exactly.
That's wild.
Shit.
Which coach did you like between Lavin and Hollins when you was at UCLA?
So Steve Lavin recruited me. So Coach Lav will always be my guy. Holland, you know, to his credit, me and him to see eye to eye when I was in college. We became cool after that. But I, you know, the thing is, I respect him because he led the team to 3 Final Fours, and he came in and did shit how he wanted to do it. So at the end of the day, you know, if I come to a company and it's not my people that I hired, I'm gonna want to bring in my people. That just is what it is. So I respected him for being a man about it and saying how he felt. But I think we're cool as shit now. So I don't got no beef with either of them. You know, both great dudes in their own right. Lav's over at USD now, so I try to head out there a couple times a year to check out the games, man, and just support him. And Howland too, when he was coaching, doing his thing, he's a guy that I got a tremendous amount of respect for helping bring the UCLA program back to where it needs to be. So it's no beef. Now, when I was younger, I definitely, you know, had some smoke for Coach Howland. You know what I mean? You know, like most guys do after their careers end. But, you know, as I've gotten older, man, I'm more mature. It's like, look, man, it is what it is. I think me and him are cool as shit now. So I like both them dudes.
Off the court, how was you at UCLA? What did you do?
That's why I did not have a professional basketball career. So too turned up. You know, I look back, but I put work in. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I came in. I played with like 13 guys who went to the league, and it was quickly to see like a Matt Barnes or Earl Watson or Trevor Ariza, what those guys' bodies look like, what mine look like, how high they're jumping, how high I'm jumping. It's like, all right, this probably not gonna be for me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to go get a regular gig, but was blessed to be on the squad and play with a bunch of super talented dudes, and a lot of them are doing great stuff now. So whenever we all see each other, you know, we all kind of relive those glory days.
That's what's up.
It's crazy, man. You talk about you're 6'7", 300. I mean, over here 6'6", about 290.
See,
so like
I was like 240 when I played though, but then I love snacks, I love desserts. You know, I had kids. My wife got pregnant. That man I was pregnant too. We all eating. Look, I got cake. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a slice too. Boy. Yeah, you already know. Like desserts with every meal. The oversized In-N-Out milkshake.
In-N-Out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll say that's the thing. I was like 275, 270 when I played. So you know.
Which is wild, though, because I see a lot of dudes who play football. They'll be like 320, 330, like a lot of O-linemen at UCLA. Then they start playing. I see these dudes now, they like 230. I'm like, wait a minute, dog.
Right.
What happened?
It's a mix. It's
like
a mix. Like,
you was a big old boy in college. Now you
you're
out here sitting acting with it. Like, hey.
They stop eating meat. Yep,
Yeah.
they stop eating meat.
230 or they go up to like 400. It's a mix. There's no in between.
Got on the soy packs and, you know, whatever else.
And I definitely did not get on the soy pack.
I'm just saying. That's what they got on.
All right.
Josiah, the next time you see my boy Colin, the next time, because I know you'll see him, I know you'll talk to him, I know you'll do something. You just tell that boy I said, shout out to the Noops. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
One time.
I didn't know where this was going to go.
I didn't know this either. I was like, where is this going?
I didn't know where it was going to go.
I started literally sweating.
That is forever my guy.
Yeah,
that is forever my guy.
The fucked up part about all that is we know Dan and everybody was like, oh shit, this is
I'm like,
this is where it goes left.
He gonna say right now?
Man starts showing you his shoulder, you don't know what's gonna happen next. It's like
I love, you know, just gotta show that
now.
brand, just gotta show that Kappa brand, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta show that shout out to my boys.
So you're a little too light, Dad. I couldn't see the brand on there at all.
Hilarious.
I know. Well, you know,
Here we go.
I am light like a motherfucker, but you kind of see this, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, real quick, how did you end up linking up with Gil?
So it's funny, man. Gil's a year older than me. We both played high school basketball in the San Fernando Valley, so I've been super familiar with Gil since his high school days. We actually live like 3 blocks away from each other. So before I started doing No Chill with Gil, I would run around the neighborhood, get my jog in, and I would see him driving one of his various luxury vehicles. We'd always kind of just say, "What's up?" As I'm going. But then he ended up having an opening on his show. They were looking for a new host, so got connected with him, and it's great for me because he, like I said, he lives 3 minutes away from me. So we shoot the show at his house. I literally roll out of bed, take a quick shower, and I'm right at his crib. I don't gotta deal with LA traffic because hectic. Shit, I done had jobs that's like an hour, 15 hour, 20 minutes away from the crib, and doing that round trip. That's like 3 hours in the car. Versus Gil, that's like shit. I'll be there in 3 minutes. Like you need me over there right now, I'm on the way. But so got on with that. I went. Was that 2021? Yeah. So we've almost 2 years now. And like I said, we've been doing No Chill, so we're still doing No Chill with Fubo, which is more of our interview style show. And then we've got a 3-day-a-week show called Gil's Arena that we're doing with Underdog Fantasy. So they came in, blessed us with a bag. That's more of the live show. We really get to see, Gil and Mike's personalities talking about all the shit that's going on in the world. So excited. I mean, and y'all know from his Warriors days, the Warriors, playing that time there is really what helped make him who he is as a professional basketball player. And just hearing the stories about, he got this Escalade after he got drafted in the second round. Didn't have no money to put gas in it. So he's like, fuck, I'm just going to chill at the facility, watch tape, work out, get my game right. But the reason Gil turned into an all-NBA level player because he didn't want to put gas in the whip, and he ran out of bread with his second round contract.
That's just got to be a fun environment that y'all do that in, because when you can see the chemistry. Like Gil is silly. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Dude is silly, and your comedy aspect, it just blends so well together.
See, he's sillier than me. That's the crazy part. I'll be thinking I'm funny sometimes, and I'll just start, ask him a regular question, or we'd be in the middle of a show, be like, hold on. He'd just say some other, like we did one recently about everybody hating on Trae Young. He's like, hold on, Adam Silver, I want all these motherfuckers drug tested. But he'll blurt some shit out. Yeah. And me, like I said, if some shit's funny, I'm gonna laugh always. So I'll break character, start cracking up, giggling all on the show and shit. Because the shit really be having me going, then I'll regroup and get it back. But just to be able, and I think Gil's kind of a polarizing, controversial figure for some of the things he says. But if you actually really listen to what he's trying to say, the shit be making sense. Like it go all around, but to get back to the point. But a lot of basketball fans can't really wrap their head and understand it. But you got to realize, when you look at Gil, what he was able to accomplish in his career, and what he was able to make out of himself, and the respect that. It's wild to me to see all the other guys in the league, old guys, young guys that be in his DMs. Just, whenever he says something like, he has enough respect for these guys that reach out. I remember after, what was this, game 4, I want to say, of the finals, he had said some shit about Draymond. He hit Draymond like, look, I just want to explain what I meant. And then literally right after the game ended, we're doing a live show. Draymond DMs him like, it's all good, but it's like, but just to see the way that these guys and the respect that they have, when Gil shows up in your DMs, the respect they have to hit him back is pretty wild.
I feel like when it comes to storytelling from people in the league, like he and Iman Shumpert both. Yeah. Like they're kind of in this category of like, you have to listen when they tell a story. You have to.
Yeah. And I've done Shump's pod. I had him on some of my pods. Yeah, and just it's that real Chicago style with just how deep he can get in the story, intricate, but really make you feel like you're there and feel the emotion, all that stuff. So yeah, definitely both them dudes. Great storytellers, great dudes just to talk hoops with.
Yep. I love your shows.
Arenas, man. I love Gil, man. He's a real dude, and he kept that shit real throughout his playing career. Like
normally, like Gil, that's the one thing. Gil never be on no Hollywood shit, whatever. You see Gil on the street, say what up to him, he'll have a conversation with you. Facts. You say, Gil, I hate your opinion about whatever. Like, all right, well, let's talk about it. Like, why? Like,
Facts.
But he has no
he kept that shit G. He kept that shit G in the league.
I remember Gil from back in high school when everybody thought he was a Mexican. Yeah. I was like, man.
We had my dad on the
for
pod.
real. Yeah.
We used to have the Daily News, and I knew who Gil was, but at that point, so I knew he was black. But my dad, we would read all the top scorers in the area.
Yep.
Like, who this Arenas kid? Like, who's 40s and 50s? Like, Because the school he
That's
went to was
facts.
predominantly Latino. Like it was
Yep.
unheard of to have
Yep.
Gil's the best player to ever come out of. I think the only dude to ever go league out of Grant
Facts.
High School. But
Yep.
like 80%, 90% Latino. So you see the name in the paper, and it's just the first initial and the last name. You know, you're like, oh, okay. Like, and Gilbert,
Yep.
you know, you hear
Yep.
that name. You know, I'm not
Yep.
thinking of black dude, but
I
it's all
feel
good.
you.
Yeah.
Luckily, I played against him in high school, so I knew about him. I was like, I know about Gil. You know what I'm saying? I knew how he played, so I know what you're talking about.
Well, sure, all right, y'all. I gotta go take off and do some parenting shit, man. But I really
Absolutely.
sincerely appreciate y'all. Y'all have me on this joint. I will definitely pull
Thank
up
you.
again after
Oh,
the Lakers
thank you.
Warriors.
Yo,
After the
shout
Lakers
out
knock the
King
Warriors
Yes.
out
Josiah.
the
Y'all
playoffs.
make sure y'all follow that boy.
I'm coming after the Lakers knock the Warriors out the playoffs. I definitely will pull up.
Boom.
That-
There
that
you
will
go.
not
Thank
happen.
you.
And if the Lakers
Not
happen to
happen.
lose to the Warriors, I will pull up too and let y'all go ahead and get this slander off.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's right. Don't worry.
Bang.
I would love to
y'all.
have
I'm
you
gonna
come
have a
right
video ready
back.
for you. I'm gonna have a video ready
appreciate
for you.
you.
The Warriors, not the Lakers out. I'm gonna have it ready.
There you go.
We appreciate
Hit me
you,
up,
boss.
Josiah.
Definitely
You got my
appreciate you, man.
email.
All right, thank
Please
y'all
tell
so
your
much.
pop I said, Dan the man. Said, what's up, fam?
I'm gonna
Please
tell
tell
him
your
white man
pop,
can't
bro.
jump. The
And
2-on-2
tell
is not
him he's
good
a
thing.
Laker. He's a Knicks fan and not a Lakers fan,
I'm gonna leave
Right.
that part out. I'm gonna leave
or
that
a
part
Bucks
out.
fan,
Let's not say it all.
or a Bucks fan. Yeah.
Bucks
Nah,
fan
nah,
away.
this ain't Raymond. Nah.
All right, y'all. Take care of y'all.
I
Appreciate
appreciate
you,
All right,
boss.
man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Man.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was fucking awesome, you guys.
And there you have it. Okay.
I'm speechless. Keith, what up, Keith? Thank you, everybody that's still in the chat. Thank you. This
Appreciate
show
you.
is not over, right? I mean, is it over?
I feel like we need
I thought
to.
it
I feel like
was.
we need to end it like MJ. You know, MJ should have went out off. At the top.
On a
You know,
high
let
note.
Chicago.
No, it's not over.
With the
Uh,
wardrobe
It's
change.
not
Wait,
over.
hold on.
George-
Talk about.
It's not over.
My guy took off the dubs and everything.
not
Hold
over.
on.
Hey, that does up.
Oh,
That
oh,
boy
yeah.
said, I'm
It's
an
not
A-Town
over.
I forgot.
representative. baby.
Jordan got
I am
something to
not.
say.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let her go. Jordan, go ahead, do your thing.
Oh
my
yeah,
guy.
some
Let-
people
let's-
got bones to pick right
Yeah.
now.
We got
Go ahead
bones.
and do your thing.
We got bones to pick. Like I
Thank
said,
you,
okay,
Keith.
The Warriors sign my paychecks. Okay, let's get that straight. I want everybody to know. If you check my birth certificate, now shut up, Dan. It ain't your turn yet. All right. If you check my birth certificate, it says born and raised Atlanta, Georgia, East Side, Zone 6. All right.
Oh, 6.
Born
that shit.
and raised a Braves fan, Hawks
that
fan,
shit.
Falcons fan, Atlanta United, Atlanta Dream, you name it. Don't you ever again question my loyalties to Atlanta. All right. I'm gonna say this. This is the last goddamn time I'm gonna say it. And I said goddamn GOT. GAM. You know exactly how they say it in Atlanta.
Hey,
God-
it should have been GET.
no,
Yes,
that's goddamn. I know exactly what I'm saying. All right. The last time you're gonna question it.
And you know it's real when he named the zone he from. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you
Hey,
know it's real when he named the zone.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Listen, I know the zones. You dig what I'm saying? It's all
Marcus, what are you
all
talking
love
about?
within the A, baby. All love in the A. I love the A. You know what I'm saying? I left St. Louis, went right to the A.
You'll
A the
never
one that
love the
made
A
me.
more than I do.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh, facts. Of course. Like that would be like saying you love St. Louis more than me. Like, no, of course not.
Yo, not
Like-
even the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Not even the same thing. I ain't never stepped a foot in St. Louis.
Well, you're not missing anything. You're not missing anything. Hey,
I could've told you that.
real quick history fact. St.
Cool.
Louis was the 4th largest city in the United States, like in the fucking like 40s and 50s and shit. Like it was crazy, like 20s or some shit around there. I was listening to some history about that shit. That's
the
crazy.
more you know.
The 4th largest city, and then like everybody left after the industrial period left and all that shit. Like it was really interesting. Like it was real fucking interesting.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was looking for a fuck to give. I'm sorry, man. I couldn't find it.
Oh my god.
I couldn't find it. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, Jordan,
So
dude.
I appreciate everybody tonight. And
Oh shit. And who's supposed to cook Marcus? Somebody was supposed to cook Marcus too.
Oh,
Everybody.
Dan.
bro,
Yeah.
listen, I love my boy Marcus, but Marcus is
I'm
out of
making excuses.
control.
Okay, no, you go first, Dan. You go first, then I'm gonna go too.
Marcus,
You gonna eat him up? You going? Okay.
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
So let me just outro this with Marcus. Marcus. Okay. So Marcus, first of all, you're not even a real 49ers fan. Let's start with that. Okay. Let's start with that. Oh, load it up, Wise.
I got you.
Wise. Let's start with that, Marcus. First of all, you're an imposter in this group as far as 49ers fans go. Because I know you will sell your soul for Jimmy G. I know you will sell your soul for Jimmy G. If Jimmy G say, I'm about to go to the Indianapolis Colts, Marcus is coming here with a horseshoe on his head. You dig what I'm saying?
Get him.
Like, Marcus, you got to relax.
He's in the clip.
When you're dealing with real fans, bro, like,
Yeah,
you can come
Marcus.
in with the Knicks, you can come in with the Rams, you can come in with anybody else. But one thing you're never going to question about me is my loyalty to my squad. You, sir, are only a player fan. And Jimmy G is your favorite QB in this league. Yeah. So I want you to follow him to the Raiders, follow him to the Saints, follow him to the Jets, follow him wherever you want to go. But one thing you won't question about your boy is his loyalty to his squad. Whether they're the Rams, the Knicks, the Cardinals, the Blues, the Battlehawks, XFL, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So Marcus, I need you
You're on a time limit.
And figure out who it is that you really root for, Marcus. Because in all honesty, I think you only root for yourself. Wait, Wise is the GOAT.
He cooked you, Marcus. And Marcus, you my guy. Cooked my guy.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
This is what happens. This is what happens when company leaves, y'all.
Yeah.
So you know,
yes,
we act hospitable when the company around. You know how your parents was when you had company around. You had to keep it all nice and good, but behind closed doors, get your ass. When I get
Thank you. See, I'm so happy.
Used to give you that look.
I'm so happy you caught that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We heard it. We heard it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, just real quick for the chat. Keep in mind, only we can cook Marcus. I don't want y'all in there cooking Marcus because only we can cook Marcus. You know, Marcus is our guy.
Marcus
is family.
So,
this is what we do.
Yes.
This is what we do. This is what we do.
We love you, Peachy.
This is what we do.
Hey, prayers up to you, Peachy. Also, I saw your tweet earlier. Prayers up to you.
Prayers.
Hey, I got a question for everybody.
What's that?
What's that?
Because we didn't get a chance to ask it. What are we gonna do about the All-Star weekend?
Oh, I know. We did want to ask that too. Yeah, because and then my friend Jay
You
Spence,
put your A hat on and then you went this way.
he I know.
I meant like that was actually smart. See, I'm actually giving you props. See? God, look, he really from the A. This is how people from the A act. You can't even give them a compliment and they Raiders
respond.
Just put it this way too. Like I know you giving love to the A hat, but also can I give love to the WNBA hoodie too? Like
absolutely
give love to the WNBA while we at it.
Shanae Agumake just finalized her contract, so shout out.
I thought you were about to now she coming on the show too. I was like, whoa, okay.
Oh, let's get her.
Like back to back.
Let's get Shanae.
Look at Jordan. Jordan make it happen. Jordan the plug.
Hey, Jordan.
We were talking about plugs.
Yeah, we was talking about the plug.
We was talking about plugs.
We was talking about plugs.
And
just saying.
That's what happens, Jordan, when you take your ass to the West Coast. That's what happens. Now you got to get plugged in.
We can't give out privileged information unless you become a Patreon member. But we do have a very, very, very special couple of guests coming up. So if you thought Josiah Johnson was a special guest, then be prepared for another special guest, okay? Especially, hint, if you're a 49er fan, okay? So that's all I'm going to say. Become a Patreon member now if you want that information.
Oh,
Hey.
Fuck all that.
hey,
I'm gonna tell him
hey.
right now. We getting Jimmy Garoppolo. He gonna announce his new team on the show. Jimmy G gonna announce where he's signing. It's a done deal. My man Marcus made it happen because he's a Jimmy G stan. And hey, when that goes down, make sure y'all tap in and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe.
And share with your friends.
Exactly.
Damn, we gonna lose followers. Subscribers off that.
Right.
Damn.
You right.
That's a horrible
right.
night, boy. You gonna bring him into this? I'm gonna be like, shit. Hey, I might be sick that night.
Just dip out, man.
Hey, I might end the show.
Exactly. In the show.
Do not hit end broadcast.
Man, Jimmy Garoppolo, come on here. I'm ending the broadcast.
But
Shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Oh yeah.
But to
For
get back
real.
to your question though, like the All-Star game, it's out of hand now,
Absolutely.
man. Like the laziness of it. I don't want to call it laziness.
It's lazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
lazy. You can call
It's
it that.
lazy.
You can call it
Okay,
that,
okay,
Wise. It's
okay.
lazy as
I
fuck.
want to be more
It's
respectful.
lazy. Let's keep it a buck.
Right.
But I mean, it's one thing to not try. But I mean, they went harder than not trying. Like it's just jump shots and dunks. Like and I was talking to somebody and I was like, I don't remember it ever being like this. Like
It's
I
never
don't remember
been
that
this
It was
easy.
either.
not like
growing up.
this.
Okay. I thought I was tripping. I was like, well,
Never.
maybe they didn't try. I
Yeah.
was like, they never
Hold on, hold on,
tried
hold on.
that hard like that. Like,
There's no way anybody in the old school rounds or the old school generation, there's no way anybody's scoring 55 points.
yeah,
No way.
Hell no.
No
But
way.
not even that. Remember
Not on
when
the
they
All-Star
first,
No
team.
way. No
Wait,
way.
do you remember when they first changed this format and it was like, all right, cool, like we're gonna do a pickup style. Once we get
I
to
remember,
the fourth,
right.
we're gonna do the 24 points, in honor of Kobe. People were like locking in, playing defense, doing.
Yeah.
I was like, all of a sudden now.
I thought it was for 1 year.
Like, what, four?
I agree.
One
Like,
year
yeah, like,
they locked in.
One.
Yeah.
1 year.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it was more than one. Like even when
No,
LeBron,
it's been ever since.
But like even when LeBron did the turn fadeaway in Cleveland last year, it was like, okay, no, y'all are
Yeah.
locked in. Now this year it was not. It was nowhere close to that.
it's gotten this way. They lock in that fourth for the most part. This year they didn't even do that at all, in my
That's what
opinion.
I'm saying. Yeah,
But like,
That's what
I
I'm
think it was
saying.
the 2020 year.
happened?
It was the 2020 All-Star game, and I want to say it was in Chicago, and they locked in tough for that. But other than that, man, they just Olay defense. I'ma shoot from half court, and it's cool when I'm watching Steph shoot. I'm like, but I watched hoops in the 90s, man. Like
Facts.
the 90s, early 2000s. Like I remember it was East and West, the
Yes.
maroon jerseys versus the blue
Yep.
jerseys or the white jersey.
Yep.
It wasn't like this, man. Like,
They competed.
yeah. And what pisses me off the most about it is you'll see clips during the summer. They'll be playing pickup games.
Yep.
These motherfuckers be going at it in these pickup games.
Absolutely. Yep.
But in the All-Star game, you
Legendary.
getting paid? Yeah, you ain't even. Man, come
Yeah.
on, man. That's
Folks don't
it's
even have their
frustrating.
shoes
And then
tied.
add on top of that, then you have injuries.
Yeah.
Then y'all got injured in this bullshit ass game.
But remember when Kobe got injured and like you just put on the face mask and kept going? You remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
It was
broke
like
his nose.
2005, 2006, something like that.
Mhm. Broke his
But-
nose. Yeah.
But the thing
Yeah.
for me is just like, again, with this generation, and I don't, and yeah, like even this generation, like pro athletes, like it's even past me. It is.
Absolutely.
I'm the young one. I'm the young one in the group.
Baby Jordan.
Like you remember it was a few years ago.
Baby Jordan.
Shout out to Harold Miner.
But
Daryl Miner for real.
Yeah.
And he been eating some snacks, hadn't he?
Yes.
Woo, hoo, hoo. Oh,
Listen.
never mind. My bad.
Cabo-
Shout out
Cabo freaking
USC. You know.
Fight on. There you go. Fight on. Yeah.
Now you remember a few years ago when Devin Booker got pissed off at a pickup run because they were double teaming him.
Yep.
You remember that?
I remember that. Yep.
Like,
I
mean,
talked so much about that. Yep. I
I'm
remember
sitting
all
here
that.
thinking, like, even for me, like, if I play the regular, like, even this morning when I play pickup basketball, boom, I get the ball in the post, right? I take one dribble. Here comes the
Here
double.
come
I'm
the
thinking,
double.
like, all right, cool. You want to double me? Guess what?
You can find open man.
awareness. I'm about to
Yeah.
get somebody else. They're gonna
Exactly.
be wide open. But no, like, here's an NBA star, arguably right now in the league, the best two guard in the league, and you can complain about somebody doubling you?
Because they're worried about moves.
Score?
They're worried
know,
about moves. They're worried
Yeah.
about highlights. They're worried about looking good for the camera at all times. Like, it's not about that.
But
Not
even
in every stance.
But again, like even look at my hometown team, the Hawks.
Right.
Right? Nate McMillan got fired. One of the first things I thought, because I looked at what John Collins said, Trey, like everybody, I looked at what they said. It's like, y'all must be the softest team in the league because of how you're trying to talk about, oh, his message. Like if we were an older team, it would have fit. What does that mean?
Exactly, Jordan. Thank you for saying.
What does that mean? You know, like it just seems like that's the generation that it is now. And again, like even for me being 29,
yeah,
you know, like I just don't understand it. But I think that's the problem with the All-Star game too. It's everybody has this or that brand.
Yep.
They're focused on this or that brand, and they're not going to risk it. Like people want to try to argue, like, "Oh, it's the team saying this." It's not the team saying this or that.
Right.
No.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Like, I mean, even in baseball, you have everybody getting ready to go to the World Baseball Classic.
Mm-hmm.
You can get hurt doing that, but no,
Right.
teams saying like, "No, yeah, go play if you want to play." That's cool.
and then they want to do this fucking mid-season tourney.
Well, no, that's a good point too. Adam Silver has a lot to do with this.
Right, exactly.
A lot to do with this. And,
Here comes Marcus.
Well,
Hawks
I
are
don't
soft.
Hey, somebody ban Marcus real quick. Somebody ban him.
Put him on a fucking timeout.
Timeout. Yeah, put Marcus on the timeout.
Might have to ban a moderator.
I mean, apparently his favorite quarterback could have played in the NFC Championship and he didn't want to play. That's none of my business. But
Hey, and was laughing on the sideline. The sideline.
Yes, he was.
But no, like
How you feel about that?
Yeah.
Every bit along the way,
Right.
like Adam Silver has been
him on
so
timeout.
pro like player in all of this. This is where we are. So I don't know if you can save All-Star Weekend. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What-
you know, I'm sorry, Wise.
No,
I was
go
just
ahead,
gonna
go
say, like, I actually enjoyed what they did with the like Pro Bowl activities this year. And I know it was kind of lame, but I liked watching like the dodgeball stuff because I was kind of like, wait, what are who's that? And it kept me interested, because I never really wanted to watch like the football game before. Like I would turn it on and be like, wait, are any 49ers in? And then I'd be like, and then I'd kind of watch it and be like, whatever. So, like now and this year I was like, I don't even know if I want to watch the dunk contest. But then I was kind of like glad I did because finally there was some excitement, not all this like last year, all these tries and then no actual dunk,
Well, can
this year it was actual dunk.
Juan Toscano.
Right.
I know, I love Juan.
And shout out to Brock Purdy of the NBA. What's his name? McClung. Yeah, Matt McClung. Shout out to him for we've already. If you follow basketball and everything like that, you already have seen those dunks. So it was nothing to me. Nothing was a surprise that he did. It was just the rest of the world hadn't seen them before. So it was like Remember, he got drafted by the Lakers. So I had already seen these. He was doing in between the, leg type dunks in warm-ups. So I'm like, we had already seen the the dunk package. I was just like, okay, what's going to be new?
Right.
That's just being honest.
And not to discredit Mac McClung, like
not to discredit him, but he Brock Purdy of the NBA.
That's fair. The shit he was doing was cool. Like, but I knew what to expect. Like, it's like Rod said, we had been following dude. We seen dude in college. Hell, we seen the highlight.
I see him on the Warriors.
High school. Ball is life. Ball is life.
We kind of had an idea of what he was gonna do.
Exactly.
And fuck the Pro Bowl too, by the way. Like I can't get out of pass. That shit
I'm not
is
either.
Too.
That shit is terrible. That's the
I was
flag
like,
now.
Flag football.
I'm like, what? Now, I'm sorry. Go watch. I'm gonna
no. Go ahead, man.
No, because I'm not gonna forget it.
Okay. And
I apologize.
I hate when people say, "Oh, this can save the All-Star game." Like people bringing up like one-on-one tournaments and shit. These motherfuckers ain't doing that. It's like what Jordan said. Who's gonna take the risk of taking an L playing one-on-one versus? Nobody's doing that. They're not built like that.
I'm so happy you said that because you know what I love to hear the most of All-Star Weekend? What Anthony Edwards said.
Oh yeah,
because he was the one that was saying like, you know what, like, no, I want to compete. Like people like, and because he talked not just about the All-Star Weekend, but also people taking the load management.
Management.
It's like, look, I'm gonna play whenever I can. For the person that might save as much money to see me play that one time, I owe it to them.
Preach.
Like you saw people talking about Joel Embiid saying, like, no, we want to encourage people to play during that game. You saw Michael Malone, head coach of the Nuggets, who was one of the head coaches for the All-Star game.
Even knew it was trash.
He said it.
More people talking out like that
to
make this happen. That's what's going to change it.
So I didn't want to say nothing about Bron while my guy Josiah was on. But
you didn't.
But I mean, not what I really wanted to go in for. But this is my point.
Time out. Broad is fucking bitches. What else do you want to say?
Hey, bro, I could have gone down the line with Bron, dog. I could have gone down the line with Bron. But I mean, I'll say this about Bron. Everybody wanna praise this dude for what he's done. Absolutely. He's been in the league longer than any player that's ever played the game. These are historic facts. He's played more games than anybody else has in the league. 38 years old. I don't give a damn about his excuse at 38. If your old ass want to suit up, get your old ass out there on the court. I don't want to hear nobody talking about him playing only 55 fucking games, 60 games. It's more games than that in the season, my boy. So if you're going to lace them things up, then get out there and play, because people are paying money to see you play ball. Anthony Edwards is not lying. People are coming to see the Lakers and LeBron James or whatever it is. And if it's that one ticket that they have and LeBron want to sit out because his old ass want to be like, my legs hurt, well, then fucking retire. Then leave the game. Don't be sitting up here talking about, I'm going to wait till Bronny comes in. That shit sounds so fucking privileged and weak. I'm going to wait till my son come in, and then I'm going to determine where I'm going to go and play. Whoever drafts my son, that's the team I'm going to be on. We don't want your old ass, Bron. We may draft your son that may be a top 10 pick, but we don't want your old ass.
What do you have against him?
And be like,
right.
What do you have? What do you at this point?
I'm going to go play.
What do you have against him?
I mean, did he touch you? Like, I mean, it sounds like.
Hold on. I know. Let me tell y'all something. Rod is not a LeBron James fan.
He's a Lakers fan. You know that. You know that.
Be like,
he's expressed that before.
Against LeBron James.
Right. What am I? What have I not said?
You know damn well you didn't want LeBron James on the Lakers. You know damn well you didn't want him on the Lakers. So you can say whatever you want right now. But
what is your point?
Quick question.
What is your point?
It's a yes or no. Quick question. Who do you hate more, LeBron or Tom?
Tom Brady.
Okay, just wondering.
That's fair.
LeBron James is black. I'll never hate a black man more than I hate Tom Brady. These are the facts. I will never hate my own more than anybody else. Don't ever get that.
I can respect
Tom Brady is a known cheater, known cheater, known convicted felon in the NFL.
Damn.
He is.
God damn.
A convicted felon in the NFL. He has been caught cheating several times. And y'all want to label this man the GOAT like he can play football. Bro, we got to stop this bullshit. We got to stop this bullshit. We got to stop this bullshit. We know that the greatest NFL player that we've seen play the game is Deion Primetime Sanders.
I didn't say that.
Fucking Tom Brady.
Joe Montana.
And just throws balls 10 yards and his receivers run 80 yards and
Look
he
at
gets
Rod.
credit for 90 yards on the pass. Let's stop this bullshit.
Get your cousin, Rod.
Get your cousin. Bullshit.
Get your cousin.
Look, Rod's like, I hear this shit all the time, man. I hear this shit all the time.
He's like, you guys are taking the bait.
It's no bait. It's no bait.
And to be honest, I even forget how this all started. I don't even know.
I still remember the actual question.
Rod,
question.
Go ahead, Rod.
What was it?
Go ahead, Rod.
Getting back to the generation at hand and how they got out of control when it comes to these Pro Bowls and everything that we were speaking on.
Anya.
So, what I was speaking on was, if you think about this generation is all about, and we speak on how privileged they are and everything like that. What would it take to get the league back to what it is like? Because in this generation, there's no guy, in my opinion, outside of from now hearing what Anthony Edwards said, outside of me hearing it from him, who is one of those players that was a Jordan that was like, I don't care. Who was that Kobe? Like, I don't care. I'll play the entire year instead of it being rest management and all
It ain't
this.
LeBron James.
So I have a question for that. So you remember what baseball did a few years ago, where they like tried to make the All-Star game count for who has home field advantage
For World Series.
Right.
What if? I don't think Adam Silver's going to do it because again, like he's so pro player. I don't think he would ever do this. What if he made the All-Star game like we go back to the East-West format?
Definitely need to do that.
And then you say, hey, listen, whoever wins the All-Star game gets home court advantage in the finals. Just like I said, just a thought or question.
Oh,
I think it might help.
But what's wrong with the way that it is now? The best record.
Again, like if the reason why I bring that up is because if this is what we are right now.
I'm just asking.
Everybody's shooting threes and like you're gonna get the dunks. Everyone lets everybody go, like things like that. If you put something on the All-Star game, because I already know, I think they do like a charity, right? It's hey, whatever team wins, you get to do this or that for charity. Well, you're already doing money, so the money's not going to do it. Right. So if you actually make something on it, and again, I don't want to see this happen. I don't want a fantasy game.
Put something on the line.
Yeah, but like I don't want to have a fantasy game to.
I'm over that too.
Who has home court advantage for the finals? But is that literally where we are now? Is that what would have to happen?
That's a good thought. I didn't think of it like that.
What's good? Just throwing it out there.
No, that's a good thought.
I support your idea, Jordan.
Yeah, like that's actually a good damn thought.
I mean, I saw that thrown out there too on Twitter today. Yeah, I saw something like that.
Good elaboration.
It'd be interesting. I mean, I don't know, because
it's definitely something to think about. Players would, if you really take this game the way that you talk. Like, that's the thing that I hate about this generation, because I feel like with the passion that I'm one of the people that didn't make it. Yes, obviously, all of us didn't make it. But I feel like at a given time with the opportunities and the ways that these kids have it now, if we had these same opportunities, there's no way I feel like you can't be in somebody's league. You can't be somewhere that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? I understand certain things, times have changed, you know what I'm saying, as far as discipline and all that, but in certain aspects of life. But now when it comes to athletics, it's like, shoot, it's actually gotten easier for you guys to develop and be even better. You actually got coaches out here that actually want to give their time and do something with you now. You know how many folks it used to be, I'll use myself for example, back in my community that didn't have guys that would break and give time in the community that wanted to play, you know what I'm saying, to develop kids back then. If you didn't go to a YMCA or a Boys and Girls Club and stuff like that, that wasn't no, you can just go down to your local gym and they got training course out here every week. It wasn't like that. Kids now, these trainers come to your house.
Yeah, they're
train you in your driveway
year round. Exactly.
Yeah,
year round.
like in every sport.
These kids
absolutely, because we give it to them in every way, shape, form, or fashion. Period. That's just honest.
I forgot who it was. Somebody said something like a few weeks ago. They were talking about mixtapes and how everybody now got a mixtape. Everybody's on YouTube with a tape of highlights of something they did, and they said. You didn't get. I think it was Austin Rivers. Now I think about it,
I remember it. Yep.
You didn't get a mixtape unless you were that dude.
Absolutely.
Like, there was only like a handful of mixtapes on YouTube. Right.
Yep. That's
you
a
had
fact.
to be that dude to get one. Now everybody got one. So
everybody. You see the worst. You can go outside right now. Be the worst shooter. You have a broke arm right now. Go outside and record something for 3 seconds and make it a short. And now all of a sudden you making something.
Exactly. Shout out to Marcus.
I'm just being real. Like,
no, you are.
Yeah.
Everything is all about clout now these days, man. These kids are all about that
this
clout.
whole all-star format. They need to
getting back to that. I agree.
That whole weak ass draft. That whole weak ass,
That's
I'm
silly.
picking players and shit. That shit weak as fuck, dog. That shit.
First of all,
it was
shit
cool
sorry
the
as hell.
first
It seemed
2-3 times.
pre-planned.
I'm
thank
over
you.
it.
That
Yeah.
must
It's
look so
scripted.
capped. Of course, it looks scripted. I mean, look at the way the Joker went down. Like,
Oh, they definitely picked those teams ahead of time.
I get that part.
Oh.
Then you're looking at the jersey swap, you know, and everything. Granted,
Yeah.
you could have made jerseys of both kinds. I get all that, but it just
Right.
looked too convenient. How
Right.
everybody was just so ready.
Right.
I was looking at the kids beforehand.
Nobody went to change. They had their warm-ups on. They already knew what it was.
But
Like,
you know what I do
Exactly.
like?
yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I do like?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have been talking about did like the question was, did Matt McClung save the dunk contest, right?
Oh,
The thing I
No.
like about it is, let me see whose ego got tested.
That's
Seeing
my
somebody
brother.
who only
That's
played
my boy.
that's funny.
Jamal,
Yeah.
is your boy?
But
Shout
Yeah,
out
that's my
to
best
Jamal.
friend right
So
there.
in the league got tested. Where you
Yeah,
have somebody who's only played 2 NBA games. Again, no disrespect to Matt McClung. He put on the show.
right.
No
Yeah.
disrespect to him, but like, really,
Shout
y'all
out to
gonna let
Brock
somebody
Oh, sorry.
What?
y'all gonna let
on that
somebody
note, I'm
come in
out
that
of here, man.
played that just played 2 NBA games and literally just got picked up the week before in the NBA come and win the dunk contest? Like,
Shout
I
out to
wanna
Brock
see
Purdy.
whose ego got messed with that? Like, I want to see.
And
Shout
see,
out to
the
Brock
cold part
Purdy.
to piggyback on that, Jordan, is if anything, it hurt the dunk contest even more because what they gonna do?
Absolutely.
They were like, I'm not losing to this G League dude. Like, I'm
Right. Because
We
now you're
already
gonna be
got
getting people off the
little-
street.
not little
But
high.
And then
Yeah,
that's
I'm not
gonna
losing
turn
to
into
G League,
something.
dude.
What was there to lose outside of Aaron Gordon and Zach Levine?
Their
when's the last
reputation?
dunk contest that we had.
It's
Come
like
on,
you
Jordan.
said earlier, they got brands now.
Thank
Like-
you. I was about
No,
to say that.
Yeah.
Feelings.
That's my point.
Here's-
That's my point.
Feelings.
Yeah.
But
You
that's
know
my
the
point.
thing when they said, and then they said that. See, I think they used the wrong word, like saved. I think it's like it didn't, to me, it didn't save it. It's like if they're talking about saving it would have been like using someone like John Morant, you know, who those
You need a
guys
big
should
name.
be.
You're-
Yeah, because then you're taking away from like the last best dunk contest was like, you know, Levine and Gordon.
Yeah, so you're making my point. You're making my point. So here's my thing. Like, all of y'all obviously are older than I am. If I came in here and said, like, Kendrick or Future or whoever, like one of these modern day rappers is the best rapper ever, you would lose it. It's like, hold up. No, I ain't gonna let this happen. Let me tell you why. Is this person, that, yada, yada, yada. This is
I
what
don't.
I'm
Purple
saying.
Rain, I'm a Future fan. Just FYI.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a Future fan too,
Yeah.
but I understand like there are arguments for a lot of past rappers that are there,
I
and
get
so
what you're
for
saying.
people for the people that are out there that would hear that, it's like,
Shout out to Russell Wilson.
There's no way. Oh, I ain't getting
Wait,
that.
we will not
I
shout
ain't-
out to Russell Wilson. Like,
I ain't getting into that.
we will
That's
not.
right.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
That's
I
right.
had to. I used to
right.
run a fake
Yeah.
account
When
for Russell
somebody-
Wilson.
when
Go ahead.
My whole point being is like when somebody comes in from outside your environment and they try to take it over, you feel some kind of way.
Mhm.
And so, like, you know, it's like, like we can't just let this happen. And that's why I feel like, no, maybe Matt McClung winning is a good thing. Because now it's just like, hold up, this G League dude, and again, no disrespect to Matt McClung. I know he's with the Sixers now, but when he first got put into the dunk contest, he was a G Leaguer.
Right.
So now I'm just like, I was like, no, we just let these G League guys come in and do it. Like you see Stephen A and all these other guys saying like, hey, let's do national contests and have these street dunkers do this and all these other things. Like, no, there's got to be an ego thing that comes in after a while where it's like, yeah, the John Morants of the league. Yeah, you step up. Anthony Edwards of the league. The who's the dude on Houston? Oh my gosh. Jalen Green.
Jalen Green.
Yeah.
He did it one time.
I think last year, right?
Last year, I think
Who's
it
the
was,
other
yeah.
guy? Who's the other guy? KJ Martin. Like,
Right.
where are y'all? Y'all those league dudes too. You're just gonna let other people outside your league dominate a contest that is designed for your league? Is
Hey,
that
Mark.
really what you're gonna let happen?
Hey, Marcus, you on that cavi for real? Oh, keep going. I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that. But I'm saying like that's why I really do think that I'm kind of happy that Matt McClung won it. Is just because again, like, you know, obviously we're so far out from the superstars competing in it and letting it happen. Like, blame LeBron if you want to. I understand that. But truth of the matter is we're so far away from the superstars of the league competing in the dunk contest. And now we're about to leave NBA players in general being in the dunk contest.
Yeah. Wow, hold on. I just seen a clip of the Alabama basketball game. I see why they let old boy play. Like, I see why they let old boy play. God damn, yeah. I mean, I seen a couple of highlights and I was like, he's nice, but okay. But to go back to your point, Jordan, it's gonna take just one. If one superstar, all-star decides to hop in 1 year,
I agree.
It's gonna bring excitement back. If a Zion just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
He could be the only one. He could be Zion and 3 randoms.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like, okay.
Exactly.
That's the thing. If Zion does it, you know who else is gonna do it?
Who?
Because they know each other growing up.
Ja Morant.
Grant.
Yeah.
Demetrius.
Exactly.
Demetrius is gonna do it.
Yeah.
my man went to a private school. Demetrius.
Right?
Like boy out here acting like you busting guns. Boy, Demetrius, boy.
Showed up
Look,
strapped
Jordan,
and
tell the
shit.
truth. He came to a recruitment trip to Stanford too, didn't he? Yeah, didn't he? No, I know Demetrius, boy. Demetrius, boy, you got everybody fooled right now.
Dang.
Boy, you
Yeah.
went to private
That
school
was
too.
he's a little younger than I am, but no,
Okay.
he did not take a recruiting trip to Stanford.
Okay.
That's funny.
What matter of fact, we ain't gonna get into details, but one day you're gonna tell us about some of them recruitment trips. Like, because I learned something in the pre-show earlier I didn't know about. One of our favorite quarterbacks on this show.
Are you talking about Jameis?
Jameis, yeah, coming to Stanford. So
His second choice was Stanford. Yeah.
that's wild. So we gonna see.
Oh,
Shout out to Tanya. We just doing our thing. You know, we just having fun up here. So
oh yeah.
Hell
we are.
yeah.
you know,
Well, I
Dan
mean,
out there, he handling business.
That's I think for all of us, like we want to see all the All-Star games, right? Whether it's the Pro Bowl, NBA All-Star game, MLB All-Star game, like we all want to see it mean something or like
Right.
you see like it matters. And again, like with the violence of football, I get that. I get why people want to keep it a little bit more soft, but like with basketball and baseball, and again, like baseball is a baseball game, so I really do like that, and I think that's really cool. But basketball, I don't get it. I really don't. And again, I know we talk about like people have brands this, brands that. Well, guess also at the same time we talk about brands. You know what's one of the best stages for most of them to elevate their brand? Because let's be real,
yeah,
y'all all ain't going to the finals.
Finals, facts.
You ain't doing it, and most of you ain't going to the playoffs.
If I was, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If I'm gonna bring my brand up even more, if I was Lance, I would have had like something in the background showing everything and have his brand growing from his recuperation. I would have had something going from that. Not saying that he hasn't or he doesn't have that going on right now, but I would have showed like little progress, like little clips of everything going from there. I would have turned some things up. I'd have been messy if I was Trey at 22, especially right now. Just keeping it a buck.
Shout out to my guy Trey Lance.
Hey man, hey, and Jamal on here. No, at 22, your boy would have got buck wild on some folks at 22, knowing that all y'all would have told me that, hey, y'all got too much faith in one dude, and now I got a platform to speak on.
Like, here's the thing for me. Do you know who I think? Well, and I'll ask y'all this, but then I'll give you my answer. Who do you think's brand had the best or biggest exposure from All-Star Weekend? We will never have the same answer. I guarantee you this.
Exposure?
Like whose brand who gained the most from All-Star Weekend?
LeBron.
Facts,
honestly,
LeBron.
I would say Giannis, man. Giannis was like the face of the weekend. I mean,
you know who I say?
Oh,
DK Metcalf. Here's the reason. Guess who played the hardest of everybody?
Oh, yeah, I see what
game.
you're saying.
Yeah.
We're all talking about all the dunks he had, that crazy block he had, all that. Everyone's talking about what DK did. We're not talking about, for the most part, what anybody did during the during the All-Star game itself.
I was
It's either
focused
Matt
on
McClung or DK
Janelle
Metcalf.
Monáe
It's
doing
one
the
of the
celebrity
two.
game.
It's one of the two.
Janelle Monáe.
Shout out to
even
Janelle
watch it.
Monáe.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just thinking like in terms of everybody kept talking about like the scoring champ and his
Right,
team
that's
and getting
me too.
the drafting, who he's gonna draft, and like the whole.
But remember, Giannis only played like 1 minute because he had his wrist.
Right.
Once the draft happened, it's like, all right, well, Giannis is gone. But in terms of like, again, it's either Matt McClung or it's DK, because everyone's all like, oh, DK, like, you know the video that was going viral, like, is this real or not?
Hey, real quick question on that.
He went up for the one-handed catch.
Y'all think Pete Carroll and them was okay with that?
Probably not. I don't know. But
I mean,
my thing
he did play hard. Like,
and that's my point.
Yeah, he did play hard. So
everyone's looking at like you all saw the video of him like going up trying to make that catch. It's like, wait, can he actually jump like that?
No.
Then all of a sudden he's out there taking off easy.
I can answer that.
Rod is like, nope.
No. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh God. Y'all really believe in this? Let me let y'all know that super fat, it's cap. It's however you want. No, he didn't jump that high. I know. Trust me.
Here's what I say.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
I think it started out with LeBron. It ended with Mac. And an honorable mention to DK.
But why LeBron?
Period.
No, I think it would have. I think it would have went the
champion. He had another fucking ceremony. Another ceremony. What the fuck?
Weekend. That happened before All-Star Weekend.
And during.
Who tweeted out the whole why the NBA didn't have Kareem in that same jacket for 4 days in a row? Whoever tweeted that was goated. I was in tears. Cause I was like, you know what? Kareem has been in the same fit for the last week. Like,
hey,
because he refused to give up.
Hey, somebody gotta get Kareem some fits, man. Kareem is a legend. Somebody get
Kareem refuses to give up the title.
Hey, Kareem just want to wear the all black, man.
That's probably what it is.
No, like know? Again, like I couldn't tell you who won the skills challenge.
I'm trying to tell you about your GOAT, Jordan. LeBron. It was all about him. He had another ceremony during the fucking weekend. Period.
And guess what? I did not even pay attention because I did not.
Because you were in Cabo San Lucas.
And I also just didn't care about the All-Star game. I didn't.
I mean,
I
watched
you,
it because it was nothing else to watch at that point.
No, like I'll tell you this.
I was back and forth with YouTube.
I'll tell you this. I had a group of friends and we were there in Cabo. It was like, hey, let's go to this bar. And like go check it out. We watched for maybe 15-20 minutes because we had to finish our food that we ordered. It's like, all right, this is boring. Let's go. That's what it was.
Right.
I agree with you. I kind of want to rile up somebody and just really wonder like, and to Dan's point, I agree with him. I used to somewhat hate on LeBron, but I think after, and this is honest, after he came to the Lakers and I saw the way that he handled everything, even after with the virus and all that going on, all that fiasco going on, I think my outlook on him changed. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that the platform he actually uses, I respected it even that much more because he's not scared. He's not afraid to speak out there. Not saying that he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just really wonder, like, what it is or whatever. I don't hate him. But, I mean, he's not my GOAT. But, you know, hey, I appreciate greatness. I ain't going to knock him.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be a fool to knock him.
I fucks with Bron. Except when he went to the Lakers, I had to be like, nah, Bron, I can't follow you here, my guy. I fucks with Bron as a fan of hoops. Like,
yeah.
To see what he's gone through, and as far as, I mean, he has so much pressure coming into the league, man. Like,
he didn't go through nothing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
To me,
he didn't go through anything.
All expectations.
Yes, he exceeded. He
didn't go through anything. Like,
what you mean he didn't go through anything?
Yeah,
what did he go through?
17 years old, having the exposure of the world on you.
Yes,
the expectation of taking over the league
even
of the NBA
that.
at 17.
Even before that.
Nah.
It sounded like he had to climb mountains.
Hold on. Let me let me make something very clear, and I'm gonna be real with. Let me give you just a small thing
What
to think
mountains
about.
did he climb? Everest?
Hold on, Gina. I'm gonna give you something to think about. This is just a small portion. Imagine not being able to go anywhere. Honestly, just imagine that. Imagine literally you can't really look out your window. Because just imagine the looks you're getting from what you're doing, your every single step. And you say that's just nothing? I'm just using that.
What
alone.
mountains does he need to climb? Like
What mountain?
Yeah. I mean,
trust me. I'm just saying.
Who's climb mountains though? Like, what's your definition of climbing mountains as far as basketball goes?
No, I'm just being dramatic.
Okay, you taking Dan's spot right now. Got it. Okay,
I ain't mad at it. I just be wondering. That's all.
Yeah, I'm taking Dan's spot.
Yeah, I'm never mad at anybody and how they feel about a person. I just be wondering, like, what is it? What is it about that person now? Because for him to be, from what we're told,
I'm a LeBron hater.
and I agree with Jamal. My thing is for you to have a career that has been spotless. From a lot of us in my community can look at it and go look and think about the backgrounds and not having fathers around and everything, and to have a spotless lifestyle.
Thank you.
That right there, like, we knew about Jordan, and this is no social media. Mm-hmm. So just imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like, we had Michael Jackson going through stuff, no social media. OJ, no social media. Like, we had some big stars that went through stuff. Just imagine. Like Jordan, first of all, don't get me wrong, I think LeBron is great, but there's only one Jordan. Let me make that very clear with people. Like, Michael Jordan, sorry. The way that, I'm just speaking on them. No. And I'm speaking on just the aura of no social media.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like, I'm just being brutally honest with that. Like, when you're the man with no social media, that's a different lifestyle. Like, beast. Thank you. Like, when people talk about, oh, you know, Beyonce's great and Drake is great, and I'm like, y'all don't understand Michael Jackson's life. Like, dog, Michael was on another dog that had people falling out the way Mike had it, and to be and go around the way he did around this world with no cameras back then, no social media letting you know what this and that is going on that same night, that same second.
Michael's my first love.
Woo,
I'm not playing. Michael Jackson.
Just using those as examples. You know what I'm saying?
I used to dance around with the off the wall fold out record. Michael Jordan dance around with it.
Michael Jordan has sneakers that he hasn't even played in. He hasn't played in over 20 years. And he has sneakers that keep coming out year after year after year. That he's not even, people are not even in his stratosphere.
They're right behind Wise.
I'm just saying.
A lot of them are, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I got a lot of them too.
Yeah.
So I will say this. I think we definitely need to have a show in the future.
I would love to. I was thinking about that, bro. Yes, absolutely.
Social media. Because
absolutely. I love it.
Make the argument. It's harder to be this good.
Yes. I agree. That's why I can do both sides with you. I agree with you, bro.
Because again, like the thing for me, like something like people that bring up all the time. Jordan had to take two breaks. Again, I'm not trying to take anything away from Michael Jordan. I'm not. He had to take two breaks. Could you imagine what people would do to LeBron now if he had to take two breaks during his career?
I'll say this.
I'll say this real quick. Like?
Can I say? Oh, go on.
Michael Jordan. If social media was around then, he would have people. People would be hating on him like they hate on Braun.
He would get cooked.
Yeah, he would get cooked.
Absolutely.
A lot of times.
He was getting that. He was getting that as a player. Absolutely.
Jordan would get cooked. Like
think about
he's my guy. So, don't take it from he's my guy. So
that's what I'm saying. The game-winning shot he made over Georgetown. Like everyone's like, oh man, he's the truth. He's nice. He gets into the league. The Bulls don't win for a few years. What do you think everybody on social media would have said about him?
Oh, they would call him trash.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Pistons knock him out a few years, or like the Celtics are still doing this.
Celtics.
Right.
I was about to say, let's go back when he was getting swept by the Celtics. Let's go back. I can cook Jordan too now.
Right.
Yeah, I would love to have
But you didn't have a whole big community of people to join in with you on that. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I say, like, I think it's harder to win now and to be who you are now.
Well,
with social media and everybody all of a sudden having this opinion about you, talking about you, seeing what you're doing, X, Y, Z versus then.
But then that'll go back to when we were talking about how we take the game serious and everything. And I think athleticism with you guys, along with just being honest, food genetics, if people want to be honest too with that.
Yes.
If you think about those things that come into the situation, you look at how players are, how much time that they get put into what their craft is and everything at a young age. Again, if I go back to, I'll just use my age. You know what I'm saying? I'm 42. So if I look at when we were coming up, and Jamal, my best friend in here, can tell you, when we're coming up, we didn't have people, you know, that was at your local gyms or where we was going to go play at. We didn't have those guys that was giving out training sessions and stuff like that. These kids got that like that.
Right.
So now when I talk about the athleticism, the way the game has changed, kids doing side to side moves, you know, on a side to side step, a step back and everything like that. Like the game way and rules and everything has changed. Now, do I think we would adapt just as much as I think this generation would adapt to us as well? I think absolutely on both ends. You adapt to what's given to you. And I think as an athlete, you would absolutely do that. So when I hear people say, I don't think in this generation they would last like this generation, I could say that, yes, I agree with that portion. But to say that they wouldn't be great or as good, we don't know that.
I agree with that, because remember, like, again, the thing for me is you talk about that access, like to have that access for this trainer, that trainer, be in the gym, you better have some money.
Absolutely.
LeBron growing up did not have that money. Like,
right.
Again, that's the thing for me, because remember the first time we all got introduced to LeBron? It was. Are
you serious, Wise?
Even before.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. Even before he played against.
I'm a sneaker. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're talking sneakers in the chat.
Oh yeah.
My bad.
Even before he went against Oak Hill and Carmelo, like he was. No, actually, I think that was the game, because Bill Walton was there, Jay Bills was there, ESPN was all there, and it was just like that was one of the first games ever. You had a high school player being highlighted on ESPN like that. And everybody went away from that game being like, okay, yeah, no, he's that deal. He is him. Like, that's that dude. And ever since then, he has lived up to, like, nobody else ever since then has done that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I
can't argue that.
I don't hate on his success. Okay. I just don't like the way he kings himself. And the way I want my damn respect. Like, you know, you don't have to say that.
But I also, at the same time, I respect him saying that, because there's been a lot of people that have gone against him having that respect.
But they shouldn't.
But that's my point. They shouldn't, but they do. Like, I think the way it goes.
I just don't think he needs to, like, call them out. Like, what the fuck for? You know, like.
He kind of does. The way I look at it is, everyone, like, the older you get, all the generations you go through, you think you have your GOAT. And I'm not even just talking about basketball right now. I'm talking about all sports. You think you have your GOAT. And any single time somebody challenges or questions, is your GOAT the GOAT? That group, you start to get upset. Like, we already see it now in the NFL. A lot of people have Tom Brady as their GOAT, right, for football. Here comes Patrick Mahomes. You look at the accomplishments that he's had already the first 5 years, right? Like, the first 5 years he's had is like, okay, no, like, people want to start, they want already start going in being like, hey, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Patrick Mahomes. And you see the pushback that you get against that. That's what happens. And so, obviously, when you talk about chasing ghosts, that is the ghost of all ghosts, Michael Jordan. Like, I'm not going to say otherwise. So, yeah, like, no, if you feel a certain kind of way, I fully understand that. And I fully understand when he has to say it.
I think I agree, like, with the sports factor of it. Like, when you look at Jordan versus LeBron, from a sports factor. I'll use that only. I mean,
if you want to go culture, then no, it's Michael. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's absolutely Michael. Off the court, I absolutely give it to LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I grew up around the era of Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So knowing his political stances and how he wouldn't speak on certain things, and Republicans buy sneakers. Come on. I knew I was going to speak to Wise. Come on. And you know the way how he spoke about certain things, and he had a gambling problem that we knew. Could y'all imagine the pictures that would have been surfacing
in the casinos?
Exactly. Woo! Like, could y'all imagine that?
You see what I'm saying?
Don't the Bulls got a game tomorrow? Like, yeah, exactly.
Bro,
Michael. What I'm
saying? It's 4:00 and Michael Jordan's just walking in here, and you like, he got a game tomorrow in Washington, though.
Even if he played well, everyone would question: is he really dedicated to this?
Exactly.
Is he really committed?
Exactly. It's a lot of. I'm not discrediting. That's the part that I don't want to discredit when it comes to LeBron James, because number one, LeBron James is dealing with. Look at us. We're podcasting. You have TV shows now that speak on you every single day.
Thank you.
Michael Jordan didn't have to go through that. Let's just be. Come on now. We didn't have TV.
That's true.
You know, like that.
True.
It's just honest. You know what I'm saying? So
and I'm a nobody as far as
different.
You know that goes. Like my opinion doesn't really matter to him.
Regardless if you, and that's my point. Like regardless if you the lowest to the top, the mere fact that we have an opinion that's being shared on here, that we have. Thank you to the 8 people that's on here right now looking at us, and whether they like or dislike our opinions. They're at least viewing it.
You're paying attention.
Right.
Exactly. So that's why when we look at certain situations that Michael Jordan didn't have to go through, that's the part, Jordan, trust me. It took me a minute to understand it. So that's why, let me tell you how I knew things were different.
Sure.
Things got different for me the year I had an argument, no lie. This is how I know I'm old, so I can speak for myself. I had somebody argue with me. And Warrior fans, y'all gonna love this. Steph Curry is the all-time best point guard. And I was like, are you high as a kite? I understand people may have not seen Magic Johnson. I understand people may not have seen what Magic did. I witnessed it. I grew up seeing the man and what he did on a nightly basis. No. I love you, Curry. I think you're the greatest shooter of all times. Yes. You're not Magic.
Yeah.
I agree.
You
Ma,
just gotta
know
appreciate that we're at an age where we got to see both.
Absolutely. And I appreciate it now, man.
Yeah.
My mindset changed. Because like I literally, for arguing a situation about who this generation thinks their point guard is, like that's when I knew my mindset had to change. And why am I arguing? Because now I got to listen to the next generation's GOATs. That's why when I hear i.e. Jordan comes at me and tells me, nah, man, LeBron, and I'm like, I got to listen to him. I entertain it because I like hearing their perspective now on that, and I respect it.
And I'm so happy you put it that way, perspective, right? Because my thing is, I don't look at it, or I don't go about this conversation of like, there's one concrete greatest of all time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's,
right.
If you have a good argument for Michael, it's like, all right, cool, I hear you. If you have a good argument for Kareem, all right, cool, I hear you. That's the thing for me. Again, the way I look at LeBron as my GOAT is, hey, if I had to start a team, with everybody in the NBA, who do I want to start with? I want to start with the person that's probably the most universal, positionless person in the history in the NBA.
Right.
And that's LeBron. That's the way I look at it. But again, there's so many different arguments for so many different players. It's like, okay, no, if you say that, I can't argue with that. I can't disagree with it. But that's why I'm so happy you use the word like perspective.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Because I'm at the point now where when we were younger, you know, your uncles and whatever, it was like I'd be like, oh, Michael Jordan. And they be like, man, you don't know about Kareem, you don't know about Dr. J.
Yes.
Dr. J, bro.
Right.
Like, Dr. J is
Dr.
washed.
J.
You know, like
I used to watch Dr. J clips, and I'm like,
yeah, like
nigga,
he
Michael
ain't
Jordan would dominate him.
Exactly.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
I
get
feel
it
you.
now.
Yeah, I get it myself.
When the young kids was like, "Oh, LeBron," I
Yep.
was like, oh, "LeBron,
Yep.
nice. Don't get me. He's in my top 3 of all time."
Absolutely.
But I'm like, Mike was, and I
Mike
think I
was
told you this
different,
before. Rob.
man.
I was like, it depends on what day you ask me. One day it might be Bron, one day it might be Jordan. It depends on how I'm feeling that day or what I just watched. But Jordan was,
different, man.
Like, yeah,
I'll tell you this though.
He was
You know
different.
what argument? You know what argument I think is the weakest argument for all time
Mhm.
when you talk about Michael Jordan being the best player ever is when people talk about 6-0 in the finals. I think that is the weakest argument you can bring up. I really do.
Right.
I really do.
oh my gosh, I ain't gonna get yelled at. Go ahead.
Huh?
Sorry. Mrs. Wise be like, "Hey, we supposed to be watching Married at First Sight," and I'll be like, "I'm on the way." Don't
Ooh,
worry.
Married at First Sight. I wanted
Yeah,
to
it's
start
all like-
watching that.
Yeah, it was like
My
so.
mom watches
Like I
it.
said, I think that's the weakest argument you can bring up. I really do.
But why? I'm just
Why?
curious, like, well, yeah.
It's a mix because the reason why people usually bring it up is because they want to compare LeBron's 4-6 record. I think it is
Yeah.
in the NBA
The
finals.
finals, right?
Because for the most part, people
Thanks,
like
Marcus.
to
See ya.
compartmentalize that 6-year part of Michael Jordan's career. You don't look at the times he got knocked down in the first round, like we already talked about, versus the Celtics, versus the Pistons, you name it. And like everyone always has this idea of like, okay, he was 6-0, he was 4-6. That means that he won more finals, he didn't lose. That makes him the best. Well, then the question is, where do you put Bill Russell? Where do you put Kareem? Kareem won more. Kobe was right there. Tim Duncan was right there. Do we put Tim Duncan over Kobe in terms of one was 5-1 versus 5-2? Like it's just so much more nuance to it, in my opinion, versus what did you do when you got to the finals versus what did you do outside the finals? How'd you get to the finals? Who were you with when you got to the finals? There's a lot of other things to it. That's why I say it's the weakest argument.
I agree with that. I think the other ways that I debate that is obviously the gameplay. I think because of the physicality portion, the hand checking, like I think a lot of people, kids don't think really understand what a real hand check is. Like to be able to somebody to grab your jersey, to grab your Jamal Washington on here used to do this. He was our defensive specialist. Like lock up. We literally would put Jamal on your best. I guarantee. We ain't got to worry about him. That's facts back in our day. And the mere fact of knowing a defender and how they play and everything, and to know what an arm check can do to somebody, I don't think people understand, like, to have that space with Michael Jordan. I don't. That's a different type of game. Like, he had every move you could think of. Every move. Like, and it was a counter for that move that you thought that you had. First of all, these kids don't even play defense. Let me make that clear.
Right, exactly.
So
You can't.
that's where I think, and that's another point. Like, that's why I think the defensive, the whole game in itself is different. So that's why I feel like the argument is, there is an argument on both ends that could be made. That's why when I say now, I do see the difference in when I argue, because I do reserve a lot of it now and see the opposite side of it, because rules have changed. Duh. Once rules change, a lot of games should be looked at totally different. And again, Jordan will understand it once he gets towards us, and then they look at the next generation. If it's Giannis or whomever is supposed to be their GOAT, then they'll be like, oh my gosh, he's the GOAT. And we'll be looking back like, y'all don't know about LeBron, do you? LeBron played for 20 years. And
But that's another part about it too, right? This man has done this for 20 years.
20 years.
Nobody has dominated like this or performed like this for a 20-year span ever.
For 20 years.
Nobody.
Just got to give facts. Just real.
But at the end of the day, like, whoever you want to say the GOAT is, like, all I got to say is don't hate on Braun. Don't hate on stuff. Appreciate greatness while you have it in front of you.
When you want to do this, LeBron? When you want to do this, LeBron Michael show? Because I can do this.
Man, please.
I can do this Friday. I can do this
Whenever.
easily any night. Like I love this.
I got to
I love this.
work on Friday, so I can't do it Friday. But
Okay.
soon.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah,
It's
been
We
a fun show,
appreciate y'all.
guys. I appreciate
This-
y'all.
This is a
Yeah.
great one.
Yeah.
You guys, I love y'all. And
Yeah. Appreciate
let's,
everybody in the chat.
hell yeah, thank you all. Make sure you click like if you haven't. Comment.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Just like Rod said.
Shout out to Josiah, man. We appreciate you. Thank you once
Definitely, shout out
again.
to
We
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
And
Appreciate
he's
your
coming
time.
back on. He's coming back on. He said.
Like I said,
Oh, yeah.
y'all see the guests we have on here. You don't
We're
want to
gonna make a GIF of you if you don't come back on here.
I
Facts.
believe it's GIF, but I don't know. I think
GIF.
yeah. He
With
said GIF, and then
That's another show that showed the age.
that's another show. That's another show.
Hilarious.
Facts. There you
Guys-
go. I'm old.
So
I accept it. Respect the
we-
OG when you see one.
hell
Yes.
yeah. So with that said, and I have somewhere here. Oh fuck. Hang tight, guys. All right. Hang tight. Because I've got the
Hey, Miss Debbie, shout out to you. We didn't even know you was here. Appreciate
Shit.
you. Thank you.
I always just assume Miss Debbie's here.
I mean, I assume, but she,
Miss
from what
Debbie.
I seen,
I
thank
got
you. From what I've seen tonight. I was a little, trying to
Miss
get mine in
Debbie.
earlier.
We was
so I
distracted
appreciate
earlier.
it. Yeah, we was definitely distracted
We
earlier.
was distracted.
Shout out
Thanks,
to you, PG.
Peachy.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Shout out to
And
everybody.
Dan, again, don't ever question my loyalty to Atlanta. Don't do that. Don't
Yeah,
do
bye Dan. No, just kidding.
You can find them in the A.
that. Right.
Jazz, hit me
What's
tomorrow.
on again?
Says Zone 6. I'm East
Zone
Atlanta.
6. Oh, he threw up the side. All right.
Oh,
Somebody GIF that. I'm a
No,
GIF
no,
that.
no, no,
I'm a GIF him doing that.
Where
Game
Nate
banging.
at? Clip
We're
that.
gonna put music on it.
Yeah.
I
That's
will
my
never,
brother.
ever
Love you,
be
boy.
on TV ever again.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
I'll never ever be
Oh,
on TV.
she
Hey,
was
get better, Miss
quiet in the
Debbie.
chat. Well,
man.
I hope you feel better.
Get well
yes.
soon. Get well soon.
Um,
Quickly. Speedy recovery.
Also,
All right,
I saw
guys.
that,
See ya. Great show.
Great show, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Yes. Hit it, Gina.